Hello friends, fibersmiths and fellow adventurers, and welcome to the Hodgepodge Tavern. I'm your DM Carl, and today we are stepping through a portal to the infinite planes. Let us discover our forgotten memories. Alongside you today we have our players.
I am Philip, and I play Dee the Wizard.
I'm Alex, and I play Sprite, the Fairy Paladin.
I'm Kyle, and I play Spike, the monk. Who's this guy?
The Blade Lane monk.
Every time.
It's this guy.
I'm Josh. I play Link, the charming, charismatic bard.
And I'm Kim, she, her, and I play a character whose pronouns are they, them, called Brady, who is a changeling monk.
Now colours, let's stumble into the dark of it. Kyle, do you have a summation for us this week?
I guess. Last time on Hodgepodge Heroes, the team conducted an investigation on a missing black pearl, but so as not to infringe on Disney copyright, it wasn't a ship but an actual pearl.
Yes.
Turns out the sketchy paladin commander was totally sketch and had murdered at least 2 people and definitely taken the pearl. Upon attacking the man, however, the team soon found he was less of a man and more a ghostly jellyfish that just happens to be able to possess dead bodies and could cast illusion magic. The fight was a deadly juggling session as the thing jumped between bodies and proved particularly resistant to the most common damage source the world over, fist, which was unfortunate to the 2 monks in the party. However, it was not resistant to Spike's bullshittery because she is the only one in a D&D party to have a magical weapon, which is a true tragedy. In any case, she pinged the jellyfish with an arrow that went right way through it, and it decided it had enough and portaled the hell out of there, carrying a body with it. During the fight, someone with actual intelligence attracted the attention of the guard, and for once in the history of D&D parties, they weren't immediately arrested after doing some vigilante work. Except for Link, who was detained under different grounds involving public indecency. After the questioning...
Allegedly.
There's no allegedly in there. After their questionings, the party managed to wrangle the guards to accept their help. However, increased patrols found nothing of note, but going back to the scene of the crime found enough information to form a decent conclusion. The pearl had been a vessel for a clearly demonic entity, something that would usually burn in the sea upon arrival. This vessel was then fished out and sent to a temple where someone or something managed to open it and unleashed a little terror inside, turning the place into a sleepy town of seaside horrors. Feeling personally involved and maybe a little bit responsible, the party makes preparations to try and put an end to this thing. And that's where we last left off.
Excellent. So we've had a good night's sleep, and we'll start with Link waking up in the morning to the jangling of keys.
I'm gonna... Can I attempted to have spent maybe not enough time that it would interrupt my long rest, but the rest of the remaining time having being in a completely featureless environment of a cell and like no sensations to experience, decided that I'm going to reflect on the sort of vow and the path that I've taken and try to do a little bit of, introspective kind of work. I'm gonna meditate on like the path that I'm meant to be on and that sort of thing and all that stuff and the grace of Lakshmi and I don't know, I've never done it before, so I don't
Never
really
meditated before.
I'm just like, well, I'll give it a go.
Okay, so we'll jump forwards a little bit to after you had been questioned and clearly pleading your innocence and urine, giving you a character witness.
But a glowing recommendation.
Literally.
Haven't you missed me?
He's back.
But as per policy, to ensure that there's no deceit or lying, they would detain you for 24 hours, which had been cut down with a little bit of coercion from the individuals that were helping with the investigation throughout the evening to try and track down this.
22 hours.
23.
You guys were like, nah, 48. Just give us a moment.
You were sent into a completely white room. The only major features being the small window that was reflecting the moonlight from Lunia into the room, and the metal bars that were detaining you, and the bed and toilet that were situated there, the little bucket, and in the hole that you sort of toss the bucket
Slosh it
down.
down.
Nice.
But it gets cleaned regularly every time you go. An individual comes and clears it out for you whilst you're sort of kept in the corner. So you never sat in a room with like anything nasty for any major period of time. And you sort of sit down in the middle of the room on the bed. Where would you think you would meditate?
I think no. I'm going to be sitting wherever there's a big blank white wall. I'm gonna sit probably like 2-3 feet away from the wall, just staring at the wall. I just want to be completely the most featureless, like sensory deprivation kind of situation I can put myself in.
Mm-hmm.
So and just like force myself to stare at the wall for as long as I can before I puke with how boring this is. Yeah, and that's my form of meditation. It's just like trying to experience like no sensation as much as possible, and like letting all sensations pass. Like doing the mindfulness thing of like you feel a bit itchy, you recognize that, and you just kind of like
suppress the.
You let it go and think of it as an object of thought, and then you just go, okay, I'm not gonna think about that. I'm just gonna let that go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll me a straight wisdom check.
Oh, not gonna be good. I'm not overly wise.
I imagine that when you're staring at the white wall as well, like at first you're like, oh, it's a white wall, and then you start seeing all the like cracks in the texture of the wall, and then after a while you're like, oh, this is all just fuzzy white now.
Yeah.
All of this, is it 2 feet from me? Is it 2 inches from me? I can't tell.
And with your imagination, you probably start thinking, ooh, these little dots could be notes.
Yeah. And I'm trying to suppress that. I'm trying to like.
That one looks like the Goblin King.
Oh, a total of 9. If it's just a straight wisdom.
Just straight wisdom.
Yeah. Just 9.
Okay. So you sit down and you try and focus and release yourself from all of your natural instinctive urges you have.
Release yourself from the urges. I'm sorry.
To try and be creative, you just try and still all of your thoughts. And your mind is usually running at 1,000 miles an hour, thinking of all of these witty retorts and jingles and tunes. You just try to let go of that, and you're mildly successful for a short period of time, but your attention is drawn constantly to like even the smallest sound. Being a very auditory, sensory person, the jangling of the keys as the guards sort of pass by, they sort of snap you out of it. And you think, oh, that could be percussion.
I'm
And
like
then-
slow nodding along as I can hear like the footsteps and the jangling key. No.
And then you sort of try and get yourself back into it again, and then there's like a cough, and you're like, oh, that's like a drum. And all of these little sounds are they're distracting you from the original sort of emptiness that you're trying to embody, and you don't get much self-thought done. You do reflect a little bit on everything that's sort of going on, happening around you, how you've not necessarily had the best reaction to this place so far, what with losing your voice.
Not a fan of this place, gotta be honest.
Not been a very comfortable ride for you.
No.
But you can feel like a seed of something starting to develop in you, and you think with some work you might be able to cultivate that, but there's just so much going on around the prison. What with everyone on high alert, going out and trying to track down this demon that has infiltrated. There's just too much going on that you're able to really suppress that.
Fair enough.
And eventually you just drift off to sleep and wake to the sound of the keys jangling in the cell door. And you see a little orb of light floating next to the guard. And you hear the gate opening.
I'm gonna be like an old man. I'll be like, Urine, is that you? It's been so long. I've been without sensation for all these many years. How long has it been, my old friend?
And he'll float on into the cell and pop himself on your shoulder. About, I don't know, 15 hours?
Oh, gods have deserted me. Get me out of here.
And he'll bob on past you, and the guy will say, right, your companions are here to collect you. Out in the main hall, you can go and see them. All of your personal possessions will be handed back to you at the reception.
Very well. I'll get my stuff.
And you see Sprite and Mel Brady in the guard's room doing paperwork.
Would I recognise Male Brady? Is this the same male form that you're normally taking?
like the Viking god with the beard.
Yeah. So this is like your standard male form.
Yeah, with the
Okay,
like
this
shaved
is-
bit with
Cool.
the black crow.
This is
But
what
you-
Brady's looked like since you arrived in Mount Celestia.
Yeah.
Every like day, I think Brady, their tattoos on their head, I think change a little bit depending on like what's recently happened or the mood or whatever. Like they haven't decided exactly what they want, which is the kind of beauty of being a changeling.
Alright. See these guys. My friends!
Howdy.
You've come to spring me free.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, we were doing paperwork, but
Paisley, form 350B. Is that the pink one or the blue one?
That will be the dark blue one.
Oh yeah, here it is. You need that for that that report there.
I'm really happy to see it. I
Alex,
just gotta.
sorry.
1 second, and then Sprite's gonna like just zoom up and kind of finish that. Come on.
File it away.
I'll get my stuff, and as I'm walking out, I'll just be like, don't worry, my people will sort out the paperwork. Very unimpressed. 2 stars. Will not be staying again.
Link.
Hmm?
What are you doing today?
I don't know, but I think it's going to be excessive.
Okay.
I've had quite enough of introspection and deprivation.
Okay.
Tell me you have a juicy mystery that you can...
Well, how do you feel about jellyfish?
I've never been stung by a jellyfish. Well, not that I remember. Have I? Maybe.
Well, and then
They got stung.
Oh, what was it like? And it,
We'll fill you
assuming
in.
you get
it was bloody awful.
Not an actual jellyfish. It's like a ghost jellyfish.
Oh my.
Oh, now I'm listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fill
Yeah,
you in on the
we'll just
fight we had.
regale the, in great detail, every blow, and then I was like, I had to make a decision, and it was really cool, and then she's gonna be like, happy with that stuff.
Yeah, I'll be sort of plucking away at the violin at the time, and like just sort of as you're saying stuff like, and she fought the jellyfish bravely. Yeah, that'll work. No, were you holding the bow? No, the bow. That's no good. You had the sword. Sword's much more heroic.
Oh,
And she
okay.
stabbed the jellyfish. And like just like changing bits and yeah.
Fantastic.
Embellishing, taking poetic license.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta make the story work.
Well, if you're out and about on your adventures today and you find a supply shop for the mountain, hiking up the mountain,
Oh,
will you let us know?
will do.
Before you go, can I just have like a word with you outside?
Sure,
Is that alright?
of course.
I'll be right back. Sure. I'll be right back.
Spike's gonna carry on filing.
What's up, Wise?
I have a mission for you.
For me
Should
specifically?
you choose to accept?
Lay it on me.
Okay. Now, my parents are little shits and won't take any money from me. And they won't even let me donate to the church if they know it's me.
Okay. I'm not saying the problem.
Well, I mean, I don't really like them and what they're doing, but they are still my family, and I feel a little bit guilty for past me leaving them high and dry and having to work so much now. So I was hoping I could provide some financial aid for them without them knowing.
Right.
So if I give you some money, will you go to the Church of Tyr as like a prospective, like you're here on your journey and you're like just checking out all the different temples, and then like, you know, see if they're like good people or not, just because I'm interested. Like, does everyone self-mutilate and stuff like that?
Sorry?
Yeah, my dad has like a spiky belt around his leg that
Right. His leg or his leg?
No, his like foot leg.
Okay, right. Okay, so...
And then you can like give them the money as like a random charitable...
If the rest of them are weirdos, should I not give them the
No,
money?
you should do that anyway. But I want to hear everything about it, because I have no memory of the church. I only have what Rax, my little brother, told me.
So you want an outsider perspective?
Yeah, and so the reason why I can't go just like disguised as you or whatever is because Tyr is all about not being deceptive and like lying, and they think that's like the biggest sin ever, which is like total bullshit. But so I think they might have some like weird anti-deception thing. Like if I stepped in there, they would just know it was me.
Well, the great thing about being a thespian, you're never deceptive, are you? You are just presenting the truth in the most charitable light. So, on that note, I will go and do a bit of charity.
Yes. And I will hand you 100 gold pieces.
Very nice.
And hopefully it makes its way to the church and Link doesn't just spend it on ale and then tell me he did it.
Okay. From there,
The nicest truth.
you continue to do your filing. Now you'll have to remind me, Spike and D. Where did you guys head off to?
I honestly don't remember.
I think we just went to get a long rest. We just
Yes.
went to sleep, and you
Yes.
had a meditation to
Yes. I leveled up.
level up.
Level up. Excellent. So you're taking some downtime and some resting time.
Evening time.
Okay, so what would you like to do now that you've finalised all of your tasks and you sort of feel a little bit more refreshed?
I feel like it's a good time to go pearl diving. That's a joke.
Oh yeah, that's right, they banned it, didn't
Would
they?
we have gone back to meet Link as he becomes a free bird again?
Should we? Should we encourage the behavior?
I think he paid his penance.
There was no behaviour. I'm doing the same as you, and I got labelled a peeping Tom. You're acting like I got caught peeping.
The official story is that you actually distracted the guards while we kind of initiated the fight because we didn't know what was going to happen. But then, we just ran with it.
I mean, I was mostly meaning the fact that you're free.
No.
Well, allow him to actually...
Yeah, allow him to be free.
His behaviour, his normal
Yeah.
behaviour to continue. Not his peeping Tom behaviour.
There's like a Mandela effect now where everyone actually believes that they have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't know. He's been there for a while. He's not the kind of person that just sits in a room on his own for a long time.
I have just had a distinct memory of something. A flash, a vessel of some sort, and in it you pour a liquid in which you shake up, and then you open the other end of this flask, and then the liquid bursts forth. And I imagine that's the kind of nature that our companion has.
How he's feeling at the moment.
Yes,
Mm.
and it's very important to point that vessel at something that is distinctly not us.
That's a good point. Perhaps we should bring him some drinks, some food, and point him in a different direction.
Should bring him something interesting. He seems to feed on interesting things, I think.
Fair enough.
Murder mysteries, always.
Alright. Let's maybe go downstairs and find some sort of old fish or old squid or something that he never tried before from the yesterday's dinner.
Can we get sushi?
Oh, there you go. This is a
Ooh.
river
Does it exist?
village, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a coastal village.
It is a coastal village.
Sorry, coastal
Some
village. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Asian inspirations as well.
This place largely falls under sort of I think it's Vedic, so sort of Indian inspiration.
Cool.
So you'll be able to find like
Can we
maybe like a fish curry or something.
can we get our classic goat curry?
You can get your classic goat curry, or you can get a fish curry.
Yeah,
Let's get both.
yeah, why not?
Give me the hottest curry they've got.
That's what I was thinking, to be honest.
Yeah.
And a
We'll
nice
get
drink to go with it to
Yeah.
make sure that
We're so mean
Yeah.
to you. Why are you
Lassie.
friends with us?
Yeah.
If somebody wants to mark off 3 copper for a very expensive,
I got this.
well, it's not expensive, but like a very hot.
Flashy man.
Vindaloo
spicy
equivalent.
Oh,
Um,
now I just really want curry for dinner.
so you acquire this and head towards the guard building, and you arrive and you see Link sort of shouting back from his shoulder to saying, you know, my companions are going to be dealing with the paperwork. And you see Link, a free thing.
Free man.
Free
Person?
Link.
Ah! You came to
Not
welcome me on my glorious return?
And we come bearing gifts.
Sure.
Really?
Sure.
What do you have?
Breakfast?
A surprise.
I like surprises.
And I offer him the hottest curry covered up in like the equivalent of tin foil, I suppose, if such a thing exists.
Banana
Plastic
leaves.
container.
Banana leaves, yeah.
Banana leaves, yeah.
Banana leaves, yeah.
Oh, delicious. You having some?
It's very nice and colourful.
We've already ate.
I've eaten, and I'm looking at you like with interest.
I mean, the porridge that they give you in that place, while sustaining, is not sustaining for the soul. Let's put it that way.
I get the drink ready for when.
And make me a constitution saving throw to see how well you handle this incredibly spicy meal.
I think I'll probably like put the first spoon in, and like it tastes really amazing. And I'll be like, oh, and then I'll just like shovel it in before the heat
starts to set.
saturates. Constitution save.
Yes, please.
11.
So
No.
the first few bites are delicious, and you don't even feel any heat. You know, the fish is very rich and moist as it's been infused with all of these flavors, and then it hits you, and your eyes just instantly start to water.
I throw you the beer skin.
But it's hot sauce.
It's the seawater.
It's spicy.
It's good. It's good.
Real good. I might just slow down a bit on it. Does it come with bread? I feel like it should have bread or rice or something.
And you can see Spike is just like wiping out crumbs in the back of his head.
I don't think you're supposed to just eat this straight.
Like a soup.
Yeah. I feel like I should put a small drizzle of this on rice.
A tiny drop.
Yeah, that's a week's worth.
Thank you very much. I'll save the rest for later.
Well, it's good to see you're energized. We have a lot of work to do.
Yes. I have already been given a request. What are you up to?
I look at D.
I was informed about the jellyfish, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe we should inform the temple
The temple.
of what transpired, and they may have been informed already, and then perhaps try and gather information on how we can track this jellyfish.
It seems, while it may not be our business in particular,
My question, yes.
the fact that a creature of this nature has managed to infiltrate a place once thought of as completely secure, I feel that raises interesting questions we need to investigate.
Yeah. Counterpoint, if it's in an area and we leave the area, it's no longer our problem.
True, but also we will, if we do solve this issue, we will have the grace and rewards and the, I suppose, suitable reputation among the townsfolk that we are reliable people.
But not just that, and also remember that trouble seems to follow us. When we leave a zone or an area, the trouble goes with us.
It's as if we're being watched by an omnipotent god.
Angry God.
Angry god.
That's true. I do like the
Handsome
idea.
God.
Ooh.
Sitting right there.
I do like the idea of the reputation.
All the better then, because the town's current guardians are away, and if hopefully they return and the town remains as safe as it once was before their departure, then they have us to thank for it as much as possible.
Plus, it wouldn't be the right thing to do, would it?
I suppose.
We have been welcomed in this place, regardless of our appearance, behavior, or otherwise.
Have you? Have you?
For the most part.
I've had a never-ending series of very bad experiences. But I suppose,
Hey, we can go back to Sigil if you want.
well, that city did suit me. But I am trying to broaden my horizons and experience as much as I can. So in that vein, let's hunt a jellyfish.
Let's experiment with generosity. They say it's good for the soul.
I still don't understand the practicalities of that, but
Where's Brady and Sprite?
Oh, they're just doing some paperwork. I think Sprite was
Are they coming?
probably. I don't know.
I send a message in.
Yeah, you're within distance.
Sprite.
Oh.
Are you coming?
What? What?
You alright?
We're going. We're gonna
Oh.
go do stuff.
Oh.
Do
Right.
do you and Brady want to come?
Yeah, I lost Brady though. Where's Brady gone? Brady! Brady?
I come through.
Oh, no, Brady's here. Yeah, what are you doing? What are we doing?
We're waiting outside.
Okay.
Are you coming or shall we go?
No, I think I'm done with filing now. I've had a good
Ask
stash.
Brady.
Good? Okay.
Ask her if she's coming as well.
Oh, ask. Oh, he said, how's Brady? I was like, huh,
you missed the
fine.
session.
Brady!
Yeah?
Yeah, we're gonna go and join the others, okay?
We.
Wow.
Okay, let me just file this P84, and then.
Oh, that's a good one.
I need to put the.
I'm like, yeah, we're gonna
13
be...
with the 73, and then I'll be good to go.
I'll go, we're gonna be another 15 minutes. Easy. Okay, see you in a bit, love you, bye! And I'm just gonna like hang up the mental connection.
What was this job you needed to do?
It's just needed to find a particular place and do a particular thing. You know, jobs, how jobs work.
I'll send you another message. We're gonna go do this job with Link. We'll be
Oh
back.
no, it's okay. I can do it. It's
You do it on your own.
Oh, actually, no. You know what? I could.
They've only seen those two and me, my folks, by the way. They haven't seen
could do.
Can't remember your name. D.
I could do with some help from you. I'm sorry, you're a little bit too recognizable.
I'm wiping breadcrumbs off my. Well, I'll head off to the temple.
Right.
All right.
Which temple? Sorry.
Mitra.
Okay.
Mitra?
Okay, that's fine.
Last message. I'm going with Link to do a job, and you can only reply when I finish talking. I'm gonna do a job with Link. Spike is going to the Mitra Temple. Let's all meet at the Mitra Temple when we're done. Bye. You can reply to this message.
Can I come?
Let's go.
Hello?
Mental connection
Yeah.
disconnected. We're going for a tunnel.
Yeah, you can come, but you have to be quick, otherwise stay.
We're sorry.
I'm just gonna, like-
This number's disconnected.
I'm like gonna chuck this at you.
Yeah.
I go.
Oh, level 3, I can catch it.
I'm gonna be like, the
Want to throw
guys,
a few point back?
the guys are gonna do something fun. I'm gonna go. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
You obviously already know, but I don't know that you know.
I'm like, yeah, sure. That's fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just absorbed in paperwork.
I'm like
Oh,
zooming off. You
so-
gonna be okay? Okay.
I'll be
okay.
it's fine. It's 384.
I would message you
Alphabetical.
at this point,
C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. Okay.
but it's alphabetical in celestial, so it's not.
To read you everything.
Yeah.
Say they don't wanna satina go fatos.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd message you and just ask you, like, is it okay if Link and if D and Sprite come, like, or is it like, are you trying to keep this a secret or?
That's fine. I don't mind if they know, but I think they might have seen Sprat before, so maybe
I was outside.
you were outside.
You follow
So
the
you were
kid.
at the
You follow
door
the
when
kid.
it was knocked.
I went after the kid, but did they see me?
Oh.
They answered the door when you were just outside the gate.
Oh.
Well. Yeah.
Oops.
Sorry, Sprite.
Go with Spikes, right?
Yeah.
It's like passing you off. Another.
It's a secret mission. No
Oh.
fairies.
Okay.
It's not a secret.
Sure.
Okay.
I didn't want to do a secret mission anyway.
It's not a secret. It's just.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna go hang out with Sprite.
Just.
Spike. I mean,
Myself.
myself.
Hang out with all your friends.
Where is Spike?
Next to you.
Oh, hi. I thought
Hasn't
you were.
left yet.
Sorry, I thought you were like in a different location.
Spike was moving so slowly that it was imperceptible.
Eating his bread.
Yeah. we leave and Sprite's like, I'll just hang out with Spike. She turns around and Spike just like disappears into the
What are you up to? Where are you
Vanish in
going?
the bush.
Where are you going?
I'm heading to the Temple of Mitra to inform the temple, well, the acolytes, I suppose, or whoever.
Yeah.
I guess their head paladin is now dead, and
Yeah.
they have to resolve that some way.
Who better than another paladin to break the news?
True.
Bye.
Bye. Okay,
Bye.
let's head off to the Temple of Tina.
And then as they go off and we go off in a different direction, presumably, I'm gonna be like, I am totally gonna follow them. Okay.
Have
that
fun.
I'm gonna follow them in whisper.
Spike will raise his eye.
Do you need me to come? Or
Do
you...
I have eyebrows?
Spiky ones.
Spike
you want
raises his eyebrows.
I'll come if you want me to come, but I don't really get the impression that you.
No, it is a simple conversation. If you find more interesting, then go ahead.
I'm just.
You're nosy.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Okay. But I'll catch up with you after.
of course.
Okay, I'm just gonna go and spy on them for a little bit and then I'll come back.
That's absolutely fine, and I will note down this behavior for later.
Okay, you should probably do that. That's probably in your best interest in the long run, I imagine. Yeah, cool. I'm glad we're friends.
It's going in the
Okay.
file.
True nature being revealed right now.
And then I'm
A
gonna.
small task that I thought would just be like, it's turned into this.
Yeah.
Nothing has ever
Enormous
simple with
show.
D&D party. Come on, we overcomplicate
And I'm
everything.
gonna like
Love it.
stealthily try and like just follow. I just want to go and eavesdrop and see what they're up to.
Okay. If you are trying to stealthily slink away, roll me a stealth check, please. I'll take everyone's passive perception. which I've got
Um,
noted here.
what is my passive?
Except for D's. I don't have D's
12.
passive. 12.
Mine's 12 as well. Oh, you don't need mine.
No, I think
to us.
Oh no. Oh, I still get a D4 though, right?
You
Yeah.
do still get a D4.
So
Oh!
that's 11.
Still not enough.
It's still
Still
enough.
not enough.
Not enough.
Both of them spot you. So as you're sort of like thinking away, you think that you're being very inconspicuous, but you are the only non-glowing flying thing that's of that size floating around. And you know, as Link and Dee are conversing, and you know they sort of turn their heads to say something to each other, you spot Sprite out the corner of your eye.
I'll just pretend we don't see it. Be like,
Yeah.
you see it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost embarrassing.
I'm not sure if she's used to the verticality,
Yeah.
like not covering,
She's like the only one that is flying. It's
Yeah.
yeah. We should probably talk to her about that at some point.
It's the second time she got caught, isn't it?
Yeah.
Last time she was following me got caught as well.
Maybe we should put like some seagull
Can I
wings
hear
on
them?
it.
Depends on how far back you were.
I mean, if I'm close enough for them to notice me.
Clearly pretty close.
I mean, you are the only non-glowing flying thing. So.
Shall we make a point of zooming
never said
loudly enough?
Yeah.
Like,
I never
yeah,
said
we
I
should
was
really,
flying.
we should really tell her.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll say that in a mockingly loud tone.
You'll hear it if they're doing it in a mockingly loud tone.
Come on, then. If you want to come, just come with us.
Come on.
I mean, if you really want me to.
Yeah, well.
Alright, fine, I'll come and help.
At this point,
I just, I think I could be useful. Also, I missed you.
Oh, I missed you too.
Ah.
It's nice
Jesus
to have you along.
Christ. Let's just go
Who?
get on with this.
I'd be jealous.
Alright. To the Temple of Tyr. And I'll look at D. Say, is that what you're gonna wear?
I wasn't gonna say, but yeah.
I mean, let me just, and I'll go in my disguise kit and just get a big bit of sashes and stuff.
I'll have
to
you
just try and
know that
accent
this is
it.
a very high level magical item that I'm wearing.
Oh yeah, and who made it? Blind.
Who are you wearing?
The same person that made yours.
Mine.
Yeah.
And I'll go and look like yours and be like, this compared to this, and I'll change back to mine.
And
Huh?
I'm starting like
you get it?
I'm getting items out of mine.
You're throwing a book and then you're calling it back and pulling it back out.
And
Can you do this?
We're just
Can
like
you do this?
magicking at each other. Can you do this?
Backpack, no backpack. Spell book, no spell book.
Oh,
Gold
fine.
coins, no gold coins.
Look, we're going to a nice place just for the sake of it. Just,
They waste all their spell slots.
It's at will, which
Yeah.
is the best.
yeah, we can both do it. We can do this all day, baby.
Like people just go like, what the fuck?
Three sessions later and they're just still doing it.
Alright, Temple of Tyr.
Okay, so as you travel through the top tier of Heart's Faith, you eventually find yourself in front of a building known as the Hall of Justice. The building is made of sort of like your regular grey stone, iron and wood, which is in contrast to the white stone that a large amount of these buildings are crafted out of. The stylization of this building is also rather dissimilar to the rest. There's a lot of designs that follow what a fairly similar, a fairly different cultural background, you would imagine, from the rest of the buildings that this place is constructed with. And you can see that the doorway is easily 12, 13 feet tall, and the width of these doors is again another easy 10 foot wide. This is probably the largest doorway that you've seen in this entire place so far. And you can see in the center of this door is a set of scales resting atop a held up hammer.
Mm-hmm.
And that sort of makes up the middle partition of the door. It's quite large.
This is quite different from the rest of town.
Very fancy. So, before we go in, we are to give a sum of money to the temple. We also are going to try and get a bit of a feel for Brady's parents and try and get a bit of an outsider perspective. 'Cause
yeah.
It seems like they're not that great.
I knew
That's
this wasn't
interesting.
going to be you. I knew this kindness and giving things wasn't going to be about you, was it?
Splash.
Ouch.
I can't believe this. I am nothing if not a generous and
Altruistic.
quite frankly altruistic
Yeah.
man. I am a river to my people.
What was that song that you made up? The revenge is a dish best served gold. What was
Oh yeah. Oh, they all got arrested.
But they did get a quite large amount of coin from you.
Yeah.
In the long run, they probably made a
I
profit.
mean,
I guess
if
that's-
anything, I gave them coin and then later a very warm, dry place to stay.
And the purpose.
Exactly.
That is quite charitable.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
So we're not to be recognized in this mission of ours.
So we should be fine, but I think Sprite, you might need to just make sure that the others, that the parents don't see you. Maybe keep those wings down. And
I'll take care of it.
stay.
Yeah.
Splat. You're invisible.
Hey.
And then I'm just gonna be like, just taking a minute and then being like,
I feel the air. What are you doing?
You're like flipping him off.
What are you doing?
I'm just beating my wings.
Alright, just be careful because people don't know you're there. I almost hit a few people when I was.
This is so cool.
Alright, we only have an hour, so we better get on with it.
All right. And we'll open the door. I wanna Aragorn the door.
God damn, I was gonna say that!
And
We've all watched too many of the same
Yeah, yeah.
films.
I'll walk in first, and
I'll
with
go like that.
the loudest keening note on my my flute, I'm gonna command attention, and just stride in as I look to D behind me. Just go, come on. And I'll walk in ahead of D, and like I'll probably have like some little scraps of like colourful fabrics and stuff, and I'll throw them in front, like on the ground, and I'll play really loudly. I'll say, "He has arrived, Slayer of fiends, escaper of the deepest depths."
I look back like to see if he's talking about someone
Soul,
else.
soul binder, pearl
No.
finder,
Wow.
the incomparably knowledgeable and wise, the mightiest of them all, the man known only as D. Quiet! He is about to speak, and I will just turn to you.
If I cast any magic, will it disrupt the invisibility?
Depends on the magic.
If you
If I do druidcraft just to make your like a
Yes.
breeze ruffle through your hair, like will that
any
disrupt
action,
it?
be it a spell or
Alright, I won't do
an
it.
attack.
Just stand, like walk in front of him and go. on
That's
his
it.
head.
Wings.
I will.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
just
yeah.
beat behind you or in front of you.
For me,
And-
it's shocking because I thought you were talking about yourself. There's no way
I
you
know.
would be talking about me.
I just want to put you on the spot, like. And
Ugh.
can I cast thaumaturgy on another person? Can I get them to project their voice?
Ooh,
I'm not
I
sure.
thought it was a self cast.
Yeah, I think it might just be self.
I think it
think so.
is.
It'd be funny if you.
Targets the text, so. Your voice booms.
Oh, that's a shame.
But the other effects you can do outside of yourself, but that one specifically is your own voice per round.
Yeah. So the other effects of like candles flickering and window
Yeah.
panes shuddering and all that, I'll
Yeah.
do all of that.
Tremors.
I'll do like all the most, and
Thunder.
hopefully as like silence
Damn.
like spreads over the Church of Tyr, I'll turn to D as I've like bowed and say,
Put you on the spot.
So,
Don't fuck it up.
as you've gone in and projected all of this, you can actually see that all of the people that are in this building, there's probably a good 25 or so of them, they are all on the floor, kneeling, their heads bowed.
Doing math.
in silent meditation.
At the head of the altar, you see the
Body hits a funeral.
Fucking hell, man.
you see the cropped auburn hair and blue eyes with rough scarred skin. Individuals sort of stood at the altar at the front. You can see his eyes are closed, and he's leading the congregation in a gentle and uplifting rhythmic humming as you step in with all of the aplomb of and subtlety of a giant taking a piss on a house.
What would
That's
we
my
know
vibe.
about here?
So if Brady took some time to inform you after their chat with Rex,
Yeah, I think the only thing they know is that they don't like deception.
They don't like deception, which is why everything in that was true.
Ah, I
Absolutely
like it.
everything was.
As
It's
close
the
to the
nicest-
truth as possible.
It was the nicest version of the truth.
Yeah,
other than that, you can try and roll me a religion check to see what information you can.
I think that's probably all we've
Remember.
got time to do.
Man, I'm not
16.
doing-
16.
Can I do it as well?
9.
Yeah.
We won't be able to sell the stove. but
Religion.
No,
you will
you
roll
know.
What was
Oh, no,
9.
not good.
9?
11.
11? So you know that Tyr was a war god who was very big on justice and ensuring that there was no deceit. His followers tend to either be strong warriors or judges that preside over cases to ensure that justice is
Objection, hearsay.
projected. All of his depictions, as you look around the room, are either scales or swords. You see all of these like paintings around the walls that either depict great battles or people being judged in front of courts and such. You also know that Tyr is usually depicted as having only one hand and one eye. Due to an incident, the eye was lost in battle. The hand was lost when him and the other Aesir, the Nordic pantheon, were trying to prevent the Fenrir wolf from being their greatest threat, and he placed his hand into the wolf's mouth as the others were tricking him, unbeknownst to Tyr, into trying to enslave him with a leash. And when he found out the deception, the arm was bitten off, and Tyr had the opportunity to pull away, but he willingly took the consequences of the actions because that was the right thing to do. Very lawful good.
Oh, good. God,
Yeah.
that sounds like an idiot.
I would,
Not my kind of guy.
I would put my, after composing myself after this very unexpected speech, I put my hand in on the shoulder of my friend here, and I say, my apologies. My friend here is quite dedicated to oration and great entrances. Not a lot. We do not mean to interrupt, but is there someone we can speak to in regards to your magnificent temple?
And as the congregation sort of have snapped their heads back around, breaking their sort of prayer, you see two robed individuals dressed with blue and purple robes, held together at the waist with a white sash, and each one has a white left glove and a black right glove, and a silk blindfold around their heads. One of them is a 4 foot tall squirrel walking on its hind legs.
Whoa.
Okay.
Wearing a sort of like a brown cap,
That's the head paladin.
brown leather cap.
He's got a
The other individual is a is a 8'2", very tall, muscular woman with she doesn't have the silk sash around. She only has one cyan coloured eye. The other one is just a completely glass eye, and she has cropped, wavy white hair and a light tanned skin. The squirrel individual has very red fur, a vibrant red, and they approach you, and the squirrel individual saying, "If you would not mind lowering your voices during the conversation."
Of course.
Who you wanted to talk to somebody? Would you mind us going into one of the little rooms to the side?
Of course, my Lord D would love to talk about the vast and generous donation he is willing to bestow upon this temple. And I'll look at the congregation that's right.
All of them have completely turned away from you and are continuing the uplifting but gentle humming.
How dare they ignore me? Pretend.
I'll show them.
Yeah,
I'll burn this place to the ground.
Let's do that before we upset anyone.
And the squirreled individual will lead the way to one of the side rooms. It's got a large, heavy door, and they'll push the door open. Again, the doors here are easily 10 foot high, and they push it open and they head in. You're being sort of ushered from behind by the 8 foot tall woman.
We follow, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait
Yeah.
until we were in the
What's
room.
Sprite doing?
Sprite?
Oh, me?
Yep.
Oh.
Are you
I'm just-
following? Are you staying in the main room?
Uh,
You're invisible still.
I think I'll hang about in the main room.
Okay.
I don't know how I can communicate this to you, but I'm sure you're busy anyway, so.
I'll send you a
Sorry.
message at some point to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna, because the deception thing, I feel like, I don't want to cause any problems, so I'll leave you to have a private conversation. I'm just gonna zoom around and eavesdrop.
Yep.
Other people.
Okay. So as you stay, you can hear this sort of rhythmic humming of the congregation, and you feel these people very strongly are forcing their will towards the front of this congregation, to the individual at the start. You recognize the individual that stood at the altar as Jack's dad, heading the congregation. The others wouldn't know; they've never met him. But you recognize him as the one that's leading the congregation. And as the others head into the side room, the door is closed behind you, and all of the sound from the humming stops the moment the door is sealed shut.
That was eerie.
And the 8-foot individual will sort of look down and say, "What is it that we can do? You said you had a donation, and yet you came in here and ruined the awakening."
The awakening. What is that?
That is our morning prayers.
Makes sense.
Oh.
When you wake up, isn't it?
Well, I mean, every morning's a new day. You always get another chance.
Well, excuse my companion here. He is quite a flashy man. But like he said, he is not lying when he said that we would like to make a donation. We see that we've heard rumors and speaking in town that you do good things in this temple here, and we are fortunate people.
Yes,
And
of course
like,
we are.
And we like to share our fortune with those who need it most.
And the squirrel folk will say, "So, you're here to give us the money freely?"
Yes, of course.
That's what a donation is it not?
Okay.
And any boons you would like to bestow upon us, we would graciously accept.
But this is, of course, of your own volition. We do not ask for anything.
Well, the way that you disturbed the morning congregation is you will have our forgiveness for the rudeness that is presented.
I think that's fair. That's pretty fair. Perhaps you can, as we are in agreement, we have disturbed, we apologize, and we will give our donation to repent for that. But perhaps you can tell us more about your church and your parishioners, your devoted, quite few that you've had out there. Perhaps you can tell us a bit more about them, about yourselves. What else do you do here?
Well, this is also one of the major courts in the town. As you saw, we have a fair few people that worship under Tia, and yes, well, anyone that wants to be judged under the eyes of Tia would be more than welcome to do so here. Each of the temples have their own proceedings. You, during court hearings, would be given the option of who you would like to be with when they preside over your what is the word? Situation.
So you hand out justice.
That is correct. We also, as I said, are the home of anyone that worships Tia, any that devote themselves. Unfortunately, we cannot give away any information to outsiders of the identities or lifestyles of our people that worship. Confidentiality reasons, of course.
Well, of course. I do notice that you all have such splendid robes. Is this something that you wear all the time? Or is this merely for ceremonial purposes, like this morning ceremony?
These are the robes that the Church of Tia, all of us that are non-warriors, wear.
And in day-to-day sort of life, what would you be wearing? Do you just dress normally? Like, how would we tell a
devotee of Tyr on the street?
I mean, we don't always present ourselves, if that's what you're suggesting. If you are a big worshipper of Tyr and you wanted to present that, then these robes or the armor that you would be presented if you were one of the knights would be a way to identify them. But we are under no obligation outside of the church to wear our garments of worship.
And what are ways that people practice their devotion outside of the church? Is there anything that they might do on a daily basis? Say, for example, that fellow up the front. He seemed like quite a big deal, was he not?
Yeah, he's the main priest of our branch. Worship can come in many ways. Tyr, being a god of justice, perhaps his envoys would travel around and act as mediators in internal conflicts or conflict between people in general if they were traveling. We also have knighthood, individuals that go around ensuring that the forces of evil are vanquished. We don't have any of those here. Man Celestia is a largely peaceful area. However, if you go to Tyr's other main places of worship, such as Yggdrasil, then we would have more warriors there. Those who follow under the worshippings of the war aspect of Tyr, they would, if they are unable to, go out and if they are unable to fight in the name of Tyr, then they would try and ensure that they represent Tyr in other ways.
I don't know how to get more information about this this leg thing that you
So, how did the head priest got to be the head priest? Is he the most devout? Is it amount of years that has been dedicated to the church?
He tries to embody all aspects of Tyr, both in that justice and the war element. He's unfortunately not a knight, so is unable to practice the slaying of injustice out on the field. So he presents his devotion in other ways. Presenting the harshness of war. During conflicts, people can be injured. Some individuals try to make sure that they are able to present that. Take my friend here, Sarod, and the giantess woman. Sarod will present the eye.
Did you do that yourself?
Yes. Tyr is one-eyed, and for me to feel closer to Tyr.
Yep.
Okay.
Makes total sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
I think we should get the money out. I think we should hand the money over. I think it's time.
Yeah. So this enucleated yourself. Are there what other sort of ways do people show their devotion through, say, self-discipline, self-mutilation, perhaps? I don't know if that's too harsh a word for you.
Flagellation.
Self-flagellation.
As I said, some of us try to embody the aspects of Tyr and the brutalities that war entices in order to emulate. Some would wound themselves. It is entirely down to those who worship under Tyr as to what they work that in with.
Mm.
As I said, others, they go from the justice side of things.
Some more productive to, be a force for justice rather than this. But who am I to judge?
A very strong and noble tradition. And is this tradition alive and well in the next generation? Are the young people taking on this more physical, say, aspect of the worship of Tyr?
It would depend on the individual, as I said. It is down to them.
So it's
on
not
how
forced
close.
upon them.
It is not forced, no.
But I mean, if someone was to decline to do it out of their own free will,
Are they expected to?
yeah, would they suffer any reputation loss? Would they have certain doors closed to them that would otherwise be open?
If their worship of Tyr is true, then no.
And who decides this?
The scales.
Right.
And Sprite, as you're spending an excessive amount of time in here, you do notice that behind Eric, which is Jack's father, you see a suspended set of scales. The apparatus do not seem to be attached to the balancing bar, but they are floating there beneath the ends of the bar. And this is a relatively large set of scales, probably slightly larger than yourself. And they are, that is suspended above the altar behind Jack's dad.
I'm not going anywhere near it.
That's a good idea.
I'm staying out the way.
I think that we shouldn't take any more time with these devout people. Sorry, what was your name? I point at the squirrel.
Scree.
Scree. For the Scree answer wrote, unless my companion here has any other questions, I think we have reached the conclusion.
No, it seems the great D has spoken, and our time has come to an end.
Then we would request that you place the donation upon the scales.
Link, if you must, or if you may.
Please ensure that you do not interrupt the congregation. Voices to a quiet, please.
Of course.
If you don't mind.
Inside voices.
I will keep my voice to myself. I will shoulder that burden. And I'll walk in. And as I do, change. And my shoes. As I walk up. And walk up to the scales. And I'll take my bag of gold. Open it. And then I'll throw the bag on as well.
And
I'll look at the dad. I'll and see. I'll look at Eric and see what's his vibe of that.
You sense an air of frustration, but they're not looking at you. You can just you can see the muscles tensing and clenching. And as you do so, the scales start to tip as you add the coins, and then once everything has been deposited, the coins disappear and the scales rebalance.
Nice.
And the other side drops,
Oh.
and inside you
Oh,
find
no.
a scroll.
Oh. I will pick up the scroll.
And the balancing scales go back to neutral. Again, you don't see any chains. These are completely suspended in midair.
And I will. I'll go up to D, and I'll lay the scroll at his feet, and I will, true to my word, I will not use my voice in any way, and I will play the sort of the opposite of the entrance music as the like a keening
Outro.
note. Yeah, this is Dee's outro, and I will like present it to you.
I get the scroll, and I look at them and I say, I am so sorry, and start making my way out. I'm so sorry. And as I make my way out, I pick up the scroll, put it in my pocket, and just get a little tiny little wire, blow into it, and just whisper, "We're going out now.
Okay.
I hope you can hear this." And I just head out. Are you
Yeah,
doing the whole open the doors in a
Yeah.
massive way again?
yeah, I'll do that.
And
I just turn around and bow one last time before I leave, and just very quickly get out of this place.
It was. I'll come out and say, it was for a particular effect. I wanted to rile them. I wanted to see if they were going to rise to it. You understand
Yeah, I'm not.
a person's nature best.
I do
When they
like.
put them
punch
in-
you in the face.
Well, yes.
I do like that kind of entrance.
That's why Spike and I know each other very well.
It was good. You can. From henceforth, you shall be named the voice of D.
Oh, lovely. Don't get too used to it.
Sprite. Sprite.
What?
Ah, cool. Okay, come on, let's go. Did we get what we wanted?
I suppose so. We wanted to know a little bit about what they're like.
What is
And-
this?
The scroll. I'll identify,
yeah,
which
casting
takes
identify.
takes a minute. So I'll take a minute to identify.
Okay. And as you do so, you identify it as a
Yep.
scroll of silence.
I'll
Don't use it,
That's beautiful.
because I can learn.
That's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Learn it.
Yes, spell scroll.
Don't use it.
I'll
Seriously.
go.
I can copy it into my book, and then I can do it as many times as I need.
I should do the world a service and throw this into the ocean.
Tell you what. If you give me that, I promise never to use it on you.
Don't make deals with the devil.
I will hold you to that.
It's between tieflings. It's fine.
Yeah.
Back.
Hey.
And you made this deal in front of the doors of Tyr,
Yep, we did.
the upholder of contracts.
I intend to hold you to that.
We will quickly flip over to the Temple of Mitra
Yeah.
with Spike. So as you step up, you see the doors to the Temple of Mitra, which you have been to before.
Did I get enough?
As you step forth, you opening the doors. You're just gonna step on them. Or are you doing anything beforehand?
I'm gonna find the nearest acolyte and just gonna tell him, yo, your paladin is dead. And I'll walk out. I am good.
The tact in this group.
Hey, yo!
He did.
He
Yeah.
did. I'm gonna, if they're, are they open or closed or are they
They're
normally-
open.
Okay, I'll just walk through and try and find the nearest available priestly figure.
Okay. You were literally just saying that and then walking out.
No, I'm just,
Okay.
I'll just inform them that we found their paladin commander dead, and along with that of their acolyte and his wife.
This is troublesome news. It was not entirely surprising that there was something peculiar going on. There were murmurings amongst the rank and file that there had been a slight change in their temperament. Slight. But I suppose we will have to begin proceedings to, I guess, bring forth a new captain. Thank you for the information.
No problem.
May Mitra shine down on you.
Thank you. I have a few questions, if you don't mind.
Certainly, what can we do?
Where was the pearl? Where exactly was the pearl stored, and in what manner?
The pearl was down in the vault. We kept it protected in a chest.
Along with other items,
The chest contained only the pearl.
as in that the chest was among other items.
Yes, certainly. We have various relics and artifacts down in the vault.
And does this vault require access? Is the access restricted only to certain levels of acolytes, or is anyone free to?
Anyone that has proven themselves worthy in Mitra's eyes may pass through.
I see. I have a question. I don't know if you may be able to solve it. This demonic creature, if you haven't already heard, is able to possess dead bodies. The fact that he was able to possess the captain of the guard, or captain of the paladins, necessitates the question of how did the captain of paladins of Mitra die?
Unsure. He's a
Presumably,
seasoned warrior.
exactly. Presumably the man was capable. Of course, many things can take out such a warrior: deception, poison, an inopportune moment. But I simply wonder, before the changes, did you not... what were his habits? What happened exactly in the moments between when you noticed the changes and, well...
I guess the only major thing that springs to mind is the fact that after the acolyte had fled with the chest, he was a little disheartened when we pursued and he left the boundaries of the city into the wilds. He went into a slight melancholy. Like he wasn't quite worthy of the insights of Mitra that he was unable to prevent this thing before it left his jurisdiction.
Do you believe he may have taken drastic measures to atone?
I'm not certain. We each have our own separate chambers. They will need to be cleared out if he has passed. We can do some investigation into this.
Of course, I will not dictate anything you do, but it would help likely secure your town if someone could take a look at that.
We will send word to have a external investigator presented so as not to sway the investigation.
Thank you. And, well, that was my wondering if this figure, how did this creature possess a paladin? I don't believe it would have been able to kill your captain. So something must have happened. But we will know or not when the investigation concludes.
Yes. Thank you for passing on this information.
No problem. As I'm walking out, I ask him, would you know much about about my people. If you recognize my kind at all.
In terms of being a bladeling.
Yes.
We have had a few skirmishes with your people. Historically, over the years, your people are of the lower planes generally, and there have been insurgencies. I've never experienced these in my life.
Is the conflict with Mitra in particular, or this plane?
We are called upon to fight in wars should they arise if your creatures of the lower planes try to invade even neutral land. Some of us may be mustered. I do not believe that there is a specific conflict with Mitra, just that we have soldiers to help, and the Archons tend to not involve themselves directly with any of these conflicts, but send soldiers in their stead.
Archons meaning
The celestial beings, I'm sure you've seen them,
Oh,
the lanterns, the
various-
hound Archons and so on.
yes. Okay, I
They do not
understand.
try to travel to the lower planes. They believe going there may corrupt them.
I see.
Have
Have-
you heard the Tale of Zario?
No.
Zario was once a Archon that was sent to the Nine Hells in pursuit of what we believed at the time to be a individual selling holy weapons to the Beatorians. She went down into the Nine Hells, and her time there seeped and corrupted her, and now she stands amongst the generals, a
Is this-
fallen Archon.
Was the paladin general that she dealt with in like episode 3 or something, when we went to the kobold hiding, was that general fighting with the banner of Zario?
It was.
And you recognize that name?
Good memory.
Yeah, like the look of recognition comes across Spike's eyes. I believe my party may have encountered one of her commanders. He had encircled a kobold hideout, and we managed to use deception to allow us entry. We have not encountered him since, and I do hope we not encounter him at all. But if you would like to know, Zario is still active and has mustered an army. I'm sure that's absolutely no surprise to you. And I informed him the commander's knight's name. Spike would remember, I don't. Falstoon, yes.
Dude. That's right.
Interesting.
They were there to conscript the kobolds, of course, for their war, but I don't know if this is a special thing or is this simply a matter of course for them to conscript things that they come across.
I will see if Mitra is able to enlighten us with knowledge.
Well, hopefully she will do so. Back to conflicts between the Bladelings and the upper planes. Were the Bladelings fighting under their own banner, or were they soldiers of another? Were they mercenaries? Were they driven there outside of their own will?
I'm unsure on the specifics. However, there may be logs or... I have read it in a book up in the Nectar of Life. Perhaps it will be able to garner some more information up there. They store knowledge of anything that has taken to the eye of Brihaspati.
This Nectar of Life place, I've heard it mentioned several times, and it is apparently our end goal of our pilgrimage here. It seems to be quite important and significant. Protected behind a barrier, I was told.
It is Brihaspati's realm, where her power is at its peak. There's an individual there who is tasked with documenting anything that Brihaspati sees worth noting.
And this... It is mere speculation on my part, but I would imagine if I were to be an enemy infiltrator, a deep source of the enemy's knowledge would be a place to hide myself in. Would you not agree?
It is potential, however, not all individuals will be judged solely on their looks in this place. But you may have to prove yourself if they deem you a threat.
I'm merely considering the jellyfish demon thing that has infiltrated this place, and trying to figure out where it could go so we can head them off.
Interesting.
There is multiple places, I suppose. This is not my native land.
There are, on this plane alone, this layer of Mount Celestia. The rest are citadels to the forces of certain deities. The Nectar of Life is the only place of great knowledge stored. You may be correct. If there is something here to try and gain information, then that would be the best place to go.
What? Forgive me for presuming, but would you be able to send warnings of any kind, or at least let them know of potential infiltrators? Because, and again, I mean no insult, but this thing has already cracked their first layer of defenses, which was presumed to be uncrackable, as the impression that I got. It may be able to do it again.
I will ensure that a messenger is sent up there with haste.
Very well. Thank you for your conversation.
Thank you for your information. And I think that's probably a good place for us to take our break. Brady, you finish up your paperwork.
Yeah.
It's taking that long.
Aw. Weirdly, like, good at it. Like, just got a head for it.
I
Really
mean,
like
you
it.
can take up a clerical job.
I think it's like the order and the structure of it, like tapping into something that Brady grew up with or something, and it's just like boom. Love it.
Excellent. So we will take our break. We will be back in about 5 minutes or so. So please stay tuned, and yeah, we'll be back shortly. thank you for waiting and welcome back. So, Brady, whilst you're in the
Yep.
police station, performing your secretarial tasks
Yep.
with all of the filing, you see a exasperated, panting and sweaty guard rush in to the guard room, and they're panting. There's a
That's all right, honey. Come sit down. Take a deep breath. I'll get you some water. Try and find some water.
and he collapses down on the chair.
All right, what happened?
There's out of town. We
All right.
started to do our broadening of our search radius. And so we went out of town, and I don't know, 20 miles away, there's a large amount, thousands, modrons.
Wait. Those little, like, modular people?
Yes, circles upon circles of them.
Throw them in the
Oh
river.
my goodness. And do they usually come and visit Mount Celestia? Can they come in here?
They're early.
Early?
Yeah, every, I don't know,
Oh, is it like a convention thing and I'm just like looking at other guards?
1,000 years.
Oh.
Every 1,000 cycles, they do their march.
Oh, okay.
They're 200-ish years early. And they're coming here.
I imagine y'all are not prepared to host such a huge amount.
We have hundreds of years to prepare.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, far be it for me to tell you guys what to do. I know you guys are, like, the reserves and everything, but shouldn't someone go out and greet them and ask them what's going on? I'm, like, looking around the guards, like, who's doing this? Who's taking this up?
Who's the guy?
Let's, yes.
Is there a handbook somewhere for this? The
No.
procedures? Nobody's written that down.
Maybe we should get Cauldron-born involved?
Oh God.
Who's Cauldron born again?
The,
Yeah.
the mayor, the standing
The
mayor.
mayor and
Oh yeah,
de facto mayor.
Yes,
that's
I'll
not a bad idea.
go and inform him.
It really is a bad idea.
Okay, you go inform him and
Very
let
bad
him
idea.
know that the creative oblivion is at his disposal. So that's a team of
Idiot.
6 of us, including Yorin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 of us. And I'm sure we would all be just glad to help y'all out.
Excellent. I'll go and inform him now.
Okay.
And he'll try and stand up, and his legs are a little wobbly now that he's stopped running. But he'll sort of steel himself and start trying to charge out.
That's it. Just walk it off. You got this.
Yorin has been helping you with your secretarial task, providing light like a lamp.
Love it.
Oh, I love Yaren.
You're in. I'll hold my hand up too.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know anything about this? These Martian Modrons?
I don't know. I've only been here for like, I don't know,
Day.
a day. I've been with you guys.
You don't have any memories of like before?
I don't remember anything from before.
That's right. Of course. You just like us. That's right. Well, I suppose I better go find my friends and let them know what's going on.
Excellent. This one goes over there, by the way.
Oh, of Silly me. I'll put the paper back and I'll check in with the guard and let him know that I'm.
Heading out.
Yeah. Shit. Okay, and I do a nice healthy jog over to the Temple of Beach.
Excellent. And you see Spike leaving after his discussion.
Hey, howdy.
Hmm?
Hey, where's everyone else?
The other temple, I presume.
Oh, okay. I guess I thought they'd be back by now. What was the plan? Are we all meeting here? I thought that was the plan.
There was a plan.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and I'll fill you in on what I heard.
Excellent. And after a few minutes, the rest of the group arrive. Their tasks took a little bit longer than Spike's did, and they have to travel. So,
Am I still invisible?
yeah,
Oh,
within
for
less
an
than an
hour.
hour. About 20 minutes, according to your estimation, how long it takes to do secretarial work.
It'll fill the amount of time that you have. Well, I have an interesting development to share with y'all.
Oh?
Apparently there's thousands of modrons marching towards this city as we speak, and they're about 20 miles out.
Are they those mechanical men?
That's what I've heard, yeah.
Wait, why? Why would they be coming here?
Apparently they do this pilgrimage like every 1,000 years, but they're early, and all the guards are real shook up about it.
Oh, so it's not like an army.
I mean, I don't know.
Perhaps a pilgrimage.
Yeah, a pilgrimage. That's okay, right?
It doesn't sound aggressive, but also
There's been a lot of strange shit brewing.
If they have to prepare the town in advance, as in places to sleep.
Also 200 years, that's a significant amount of time.
who found
And they
this
didn't,
out?
like, phone ahead, which is just honestly rude. I mean, did their mother not teach them better than that?
Did they send a scout out?
Yeah, so these were the people looking for the jelly,
Oh.
and they just came across.
Oh, by accident. They just happened to.
Yeah, it was like, oh, we're looking for a jelly. Oh shit, there's.
Oh, here's
ton
like
of
thousands
Modrons.
of people.
Have they told the mayor?
They're on the way. I said I put our name forward as people that could help.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go to the town hall
Yeah.
Good idea.
and
That's
see
weird.
if there's anything we can do.
It's weird. It's weird.
I can sense
We
a
don't-
story in this.
We don't have to get involved if you don't want to. I thought
It's
No,
fascinating.
let's do it.
everyone's working on their journeys, and if we can help out, I think that's probably good.
I'm overthinking it, to be honest. I would be happy for the distraction.
Yeah, but you always jump with your feet first.
I can't help but feel two very unusual occurrences happening at the same time are.
Connected.
Yes.
It's a bit strange,
Now
isn't it?
that's what I
Very
thought.
odd.
But
Could be a
demon,
coincidence.
devil things, nasty fiends, and lawful
It might.
modrons?
Perhaps the Modrons are, through some ancient rite, are tuned to this place and know when is danger and come here to
Maybe
assist.
they-
I have no idea.
Maybe they've come to protect the
But-
town.
Also, it is strange that this has all happened at the time when the Lamasu
Yes.
leaders
Yes.
are away, the
That is
traditional protectors.
Very.
Okay, that's not a
very
coincidence.
Well
Very
done.
That can't be a
coincidental.
coincidence. We're
Very
walking
well
and talking.
timed.
We're
Walk and
walking and
talk.
talking.
Okay. And after a few minutes, you're in the upper quarters of the upper tier of the town, so it's not too far. You have to travel through the town. And you find yourselves back at the town hall.
Ilaria? Is that the CL of the mayor's office?
Yeah. I
Oh,
think
Yes.
so.
Ilaria, yeah.
I just stole that off your sheet.
Such a good memory you have.
Yes.
Have you heard the news?
Yeah, a guard came in very out of breath. I offered him a glass of water, but didn't want it. Immediately demanded to see Cauldronborn. I let him through.
Are they still in there now?
Yeah,
May we join them?
certainly. And she will sort of head over and open up the doors, and you can see the guard recounting everything that you have previously mentioned. He's just like on the floor, led down with his arms spread, just panting deep breaths.
Do we know what this guy's name is from training with him and stuff?
Yeah. Let's give him a name.
Little Timmy.
I don't know why, but he feels like a Josh. No? Nobody else feel that?
If he's running around a lot, no. Although if he's
Incredibly weedy.
Maybe
if
a
he's
Joshua.
perpetually out of breath, then sure, yeah. I'll
His
take
name is Cedric.
Cedric.
And he's just laying on the floor, like, splurting everything that he can recount.
Is he doing a good job?
I mean, he's doing okay. I mean, he's
Okay.
struggling to talk because he's out of breath. He's just ran 20 miles
Oh, God.
as fast as he could.
Has anyone ever accomplished such a feat before?
I mean, they have. This guy ain't particularly...
Oh, it's not going to be a Cedric.
Does it?
Cedric
Yeah.
run.
Does it get named after him? And every year
Yeah.
they hold the Cedric run.
Oh, man. I love that.
We'll just say to Cauldronborn, my Lord Mayor, we've heard the news. I assume you've just been appraised. We're here to offer our services, as good heroes do, in times of great need.
Yes. So, I don't suppose they'll probably want to sit down and have lunch.
Wait, do they
You
eat?
could ask.
They might.
I don't believe so.
Well, that's something at least.
What is the usual
I've never met one.
happening when?
Have we?
Do your
I don't
records
know. We just
explain
got
what
stories.
is supposed to happen when they make an appearance?
I am not sure. I didn't think I'd ever see this in my lifestyle.
That's fair.
Should you perhaps delve into that while we try and get a bit of a feel for what they're about?
You would be our envoys?
I suppose so.
Excellent, yes.
There's
That
literally no one else
would
qualified.
probably be
Wait,
the
not qualified.
best use of resources, yes. I will go and find myself a book.
There's a good library nearby, isn't there?
No.
No? Oh.
I will
You've
find a
checked.
book. I will do this very, very important mayoral job of finding a book. If you guys would be so kind as to be my voice, words, representatives, those ones. I will go and do that.
Before you go, is there a way to contact the elected mayor?
Unfortunately not. They are in
Okay.
complete isolation.
How incredibly inconvenient.
Well, it was just a thought. Sorry, what were we going to say?
I was just going to say, this guy, I don't know, can he even read? So, a good part of being a leader is, of course, delegation. Perhaps you could find the most learned scholars of this fine city and let them guide your research.
Yes, that is good. Delegation is the key to management. Yes, management are the ones that delegate. Yes, I delegate you as our envoys, and
I mean, Ilaria seems pretty useful. I know she's your assistant secretary, but
She probably has a good ear for what's going on and where things are.
yes, I will delegate to Ilaria.
A fantastic idea, my lord.
Thank you.
And we will perform this task that you have bestowed upon us.
That is incredibly kind of you.
is there
Please.
anything you want us to say to them?
I will entirely trust your judgment. Yes,
Cool.
I will do that.
He is an idiot.
in the meantime, after I have delegated, Cedric. Yes. Go and muster people. Get them here. We'll figure something out.
Oh God.
Do I have to run?
Oh, Cedric, we'll help you. And I'll just go and like try and help him. Spag, can you help?
I trust you with it. It's good delegation to trust your subordinates.
Okay. I'll try and help Cedric up and out of the room.
And he is very appreciative of at least some weight being taken off of him.
We shall intercept the Modrons.
I'll give him a bardic inspiration for like to inspire him to run a little bit further than he would otherwise would.
Aw.
Nice. And as you leave, he'll start running back towards the guard house to try and get a message out to all of the feet on the floor that are searching for this jellyfish.
Nice.
Alright.
Should have just gone to the dogs to do it.
Yeah.
The food dogs.
Yeah. Just get everywhere.
Could ask the mayor if he can provide us with any transportation or mounts to quicker reach the.
That's a good idea.
That's true. Horse siege, but
Have we seen any kind of horse?
Yeah, there are livestock. You've seen like farms and stuff on the outskirts of town. Nothing in the town itself. But yeah, definitely on the outskirts.
yeah. If he could like give us a writ of sort of writ of
Loan,
passage, kind
yeah.
of writ of loan for if there's like some stables on the outskirts of town, the royal stables.
Yes. Laria, before you go and find the books, can you get me the form for the thing? And she'll sort of sigh and say, I will get you the C-79s. And she'll go and fetch, this time it's a sort of very dark, sort of pinkish form. And he will sign it and hand it over to you.
No problem.
Very good.
Leave it blank. We will fill it in.
I hereby permit the Creative Oblivion to.
Blank.
Don't worry, we'll fill in the rest. We can get a couple of copies of this as well.
And we'll report back as soon as we made contact.
Excellent, excellent. Good job. Go team?
Yep.
Yes, go
Yes.
team.
Goodbye.
Go team.
Just
we're gonna put
so
our
it's
rings
said,
in
I'll
the
take
centre.
urine with me.
You'll take Yoren with you?
Or use him like a balloon.
Cheese and crackers. He is kind of useless.
Is his brain on a wind up? He's
Honestly, it's kind of endearing.
Very kind-hearted. But
Endearing.
Jesus Christ.
but not in a leader in a time of crisis.
It's like having a pet that can talk.
It might be his time to rise.
Rise to what?
I mean, he can't go lower.
Exactly. There's
Let's-
literally nothing he can do that's going to be worse.
Let's go see what
Now
these.
that I say that,
Let's go see what these
It's
Modrons
very
are about.
optimistic of you.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm trying to be hopeful.
Time is
Mm.
of the essence. Let's hit these stables and find some fast steeds.
Okay.
Okay. So you arrive at the stables at the northern part of town. That's where they informed you that the Modrons are coming from. And
Modrons are coming.
and you have the form and you're at the stables. What do you ask for?
Horses, fast.
The fastest steed.
The fastest steeds you have,
Excellent.
and
You
one
have-
pony.
Come on, he's
The
not
fastest
that small.
pony. Yeah, you can run this.
Maybe just a smaller saddle.
Yeah. Do you have a double saddle?
Like a
Rather than a
sidecar.
smaller
Yeah,
beast.
Like
Maybe
for
rude,
like
man.
We'll just
Do you have
like
like a
an
attach
adult
a
and a
rope.
child. So that
Yeah.
We'll just
Do you-
attach a rope to Sprite and then onto the saddle, and then you can just like flip the hand like a
She can
balloon.
glide.
Yeah, you can glide. Like, woo.
I'm not made of helium. I would
she has
be.
to actually fly.
I would be dragged along.
You can land.
Yeah.
Do you
Well, why
have,
don't
like-
you jog alongside and then
I would happily do that.
Oh
Do you have
well.
a conjoined
Okay, fair
horse?
enough.
Yeah. What are these
Horse joined
steeds?
to a little
What are these
pony on the
steeds that you
side.
got?
So they'll present you with 6 or 5. How many do you want? 5 or 6?
5.
5.
5.
We're 5,
There's
right?
5 and 1
Five.
person.
We're
Yeah.
five.
Oh, right.
Fine.
Fine,
Okay.
that's fine.
I'm getting
you're in-
offended
you're in
for no
definitely
reason.
like-
You're in. You're in.
You can just float above a horse.
Fast.
They'll present you with 5 horses.
Nice.
They look incredibly muscular, like, you know, they've ate well, very good, clean food, and they've been exercise, and they're in their peak form.
Let's go.
Of course they are. It's not
God, those
fucking
silver.
And
Celestia.
all the horses say hi. They don't say hi.
Oh! They might to
They
me.
say nay.
The horses aren't talking to you.
Nice.
Not yet.
I'm gonna pick the
No
most,
fool horses.
majestic looking.
How would you like the horse to look?
Pure white,
Pure white?
radiantly white,
Radiant.
and wings. Can I choose that? Alright, no.
That's a Pegasus.
But you do
Yeah.
get a beautiful white horse.
Great.
I'll just go to the one that looks the most muscular, like the fastest.
You find a really buff
Power.
one. It looks like its kick will knock Sprite into another plane.
Nah.
Buff
I
horse.
can try.
I know, it might be a fast way of travelling.
I'll get to the next plane. Or level.
Yeah.
The next life.
How would everyone else's horses look?
Mine's gonna
Or
be
are you
like a
specific?
no. Mine's gonna be like a beige, goldeny, like sandy color
Yeah.
with like brown hair, the same color as mine.
Oh.
Vani-
choice.
vanity project.
Brown with black hair.
Brown with black hair,
So
Grey with
nice.
white hair.
grey with white hair. Excellent. And you pick out your steeds, and you head off. The instructions that you were given by Cedric dictate that they are about 20 miles to the north, but they do appear to be moving at a relatively slow pace.
Good.
With your horses, let's do some math. How long does it take for you to get there?
If a bunch of Modrons are marching at 1 mile an hour towards you, and another train is coming at 20 miles an hour the other way, where do they meet? Connecticut or Boston? Isn't that like a math problem we
Yeah,
all have?
Yeah.
How many watermelons did I buy before this?
Probably an hour to get there.
If it's 20 miles, a horse can go at full speed at 88 kilometers an hour.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
look,
a lot.
we may kill him.
Jesus.
We may kill
If you
him.
kill them.
Yeah.
Don't
If you kill 'em.
kill the horses. We need to get back.
A gallop, not a.
So if you go at
Trot.
half that speed, it will be about 25 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
So we'll say an hour.
hour, an hour.
So it will
and
be
a bit.
about an hour if you don't run them ragged.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We want to have a bit of escape
Mhm.
potential if things go sour.
And you find yourselves at quite a tremendous sight.
With very sore bottoms.
With very sore bottoms. There were. The area was relatively forested. What was
Did
that?
you just say woof?
Woof.
No. Woof.
I was imagining it in my mind.
Sorry.
Woof. You're in a heavily forested area. But what you see before you are thousands and thousands of Modrons of varying sizes in concentric circles in this one huge platoon. And at the very front, you see lots of these sort of relatively small, probably a bit bigger than Sprite, spherical, mechanical creatures. And as you sort of look out, and I assume Sprite will probably scope up and see the vastness of this, that creates a large ring around the entire force. Seconded behind that, you find these little cubes, 2 rectangular cubes stacked on top of each other, slightly larger than the first of the two, and it increases in size. You have triangular mechanical entities, and they go into larger squares, and then from the squares it heads into like a sphere with 5 sort of almost flaps. If you've ever seen Alien, and you know how the eggs sort of have these flaps and they sort of open up, basically like that. In fact, I have an example of one here.
Ooh.
Nice.
Lovely.
So
It's not gonna
it's not going
autofocus.
to autofocus, is it?
But you can hold it up to your face. Yeah, put your hand behind it there. There you go. You can get the gist of it.
Cool.
They are in the center of this force. And then with all of these individuals, you see a small handful of a small handful of even larger entities of that, and they are moving through the woods, and they are just trampling trees down. All of these large trees that you see in this forest, as this force moves forward, they are just knocking everything in its way down.
And can we see, do they look armed?
Some of them have bows and small weapons, but they're not wielding them.
Right, they're sheathed or...
Exactly, yeah.
Whoa. That's quite a noise they're making.
Harmony. Well...
Can anyone see a command center or leadership? Leaders?
Maybe the
Anything?
ones in the middle?
Walk right up to it and let's ask.
We got trampled.
Or we get trampled.
Let's keep it a bit of a pace from them.
Alright. Let's go check.
Can you use your big booming voice?
Yeah.
Try and get their attention?
Okay.
Okay. So you're going up to like the outer ring?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you do?
First I'll let them see me. What do they acknowledge me? Do they
No.
They're just eyes ahead marching.
Continue to march, yes.
I'll use my thaumaturgy and project my voice and say from Mechanus, aren't they?
They are.
Good Modrons from Mechanus. What brings you to Heart's Faith so early?
And then a small collection of them in front of you will say, March.
The march is early, though.
The march is not scheduled for at least 200 years.
March.
Fantastic conversationalists.
What's the objective?
What is your objective when you arrive at Heart's Faith?
March.
Fucking hell.
Oh, Discord, they are going to march right through the city.
Where are they marching to?
They're not marching to, they're marching through.
But where are they eventually going?
What is your destination after Heart's Faith?
March.
I thought I might get that answer.
I ride up with my arm up in the air, just looking very calm. Do you acknowledge?
March.
I wouldn't get too close.
They're not. They haven't stopped.
They haven't stopped.
So we're just like riding like forward and back and round, just try and
And sort
stay
of
out of the way.
teetering out of the way of
Does
them,
it feel
yes.
like
By-
they're a single entity or?
What was the player's name?
Cauldron Born.
From the information that you know, rogue Modrons such as Yelem, that you have been told about in Sigil, has separated themselves from the collective of the
So
Modrons.
these are the Borg.
So it's just
Hive mind.
are they like organic? Like they're not. They.
Roll me an investigation check.
You can fly right up to them, so.
Yeah, I guess so.
I assume you've been on the outside this entire time saying this. Yeah.
No, investigation. Sorry.
Yeah.
16.
What's
No,
that D4?
this is 19.
19. They do appear to have, in areas underneath this mechanical exterior, there are some fleshy elements to them.
Okay.
I think I assume you described what you saw.
Yeah.
I think from what you described, perhaps greater intelligence might be found further within.
Maybe.
I don't think we're going to get much more out of these. Good Modrons, say march if you are an idiot. Blast.
Dang, that didn't
Now I
work.
look like the fool.
I will say, I will call out, under the authority of Vice Mayor Cauldronborn, we are granted that word.
Parlay.
Yes, sure. We request to speak with your leadership.
March.
So knowing
I
this
head forward.
Is it just the little circle ones that
Just
are
the little
saying
circle
march?
ones. There was quite a thick layer of them all.
Is there space in between each of them for us to move?
You could move through them, yes.
Okay,
moving city.
I think we just do that.
Let's do
Let's-
it.
I'm gonna hover above.
Good
Yeah.
idea.
Get
And
ready
if-
to pull us out just in
Yeah.
case.
Before we go in, can we just calculate real quick at the movement that the speed that they're moving, and knowing that we took an hour to get here at our speed, how long?
Do me an investigate. Do me an investigation.
Intelligence.
Intelligence. Yeah. Intelligence, I think, is investigation.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
so I
okay.
think that's going to be a failure. In which case, I
Yeah,
will
intelligence.
use my thingy to re-roll it. But at the moment, that's quite low. Yeah, that's a 7. So if that's a fail, I will use the thing. Is that a fail?
Yes, it is. A 7 is a fail.
Chronal shift.
Oh my God.
Not much better. That's still, I think, just a 10.
10 is enough.
Hey, that's enough.
It was about a relatively low DC based on the information, but
Still had to get higher than half.
still
Yeah.
had to get higher than 10 is your base DC of pretty much anything.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, the calculations, you're sort of looking at the speed on which they're marching as a complete unit, not a single monodrone is out of step with the one next to it. Based on the speed that these monodrones are walking at, you would imagine that if everyone worked at the exact same speed as the monodrones, considering that they are the external thing, it will take them 10 hours to reach Heart's Faith.
I would relay.
That's fast. That's too fast.
Well, we have 10 hours to get this done, or Heart's Faith is going to be
No more.
basically
All
just.
those cute food dogs, we can't let them trample them.
The croissants.
I know.
Okay,
I know.
In we go.
in we go.
We can scavenge the wreckage.
You'll fly.
So-
You'll fly above.
Let's
just
go
in case.
straight to
Yeah.
the Temple of Tiamat.
And we'll work our way this way.
As you work your way through,
Not the
you,
way, Yarn.
you make yourself through the monodrones and you reach the duodrones, which are the rectangulars that are stacked on top of each other. As you talk to them, they just recount the same thing.
Do they say
March.
2 words then?
Can we keep going?
They
March.
do.
We march.
We march. We march.
Well, let's keep going until we
Yeah.
find someone that can actually communicate.
I can form a sentence.
Eventually, you find yourselves confronted by the quadrones.
Those ones with the flaps.
No, not
No?
no, they are basically just the cubes.
Oh, okay.
Resistance is futile.
And
Assimilate.
as you ask one
Assimilate.
of them, as you sort of rock up to it, what are you asking them?
The same questions, just like, what's your destination? Like, what, why are you early? What are you going to do when you arrive at Heart's Faith?
So when you arrive and ask them, you know, what is the purpose or what are you doing? They will respond saying, what are your names?
My name is Link, and these are my merry companions. We are the Creative Oblivion.
What is your place of origin?
For the purpose of this conversation, let's say Heart's Faith.
Can you do me a perception check?
Perception?
Yes, please.
I mean, that's true for at least one of us.
Oh, no, terribly. 8 plus 5, 13.
13. This thing seems to be eyeing you up, as in it is trying to evaluate if you are a threat.
We are emissaries.
Simple diplomats.
What are your grandmother's maiden names?
Look, is that really important right now?
Is this
You
a
were
capture
headed-
check?
You were heading directly for a town full of people, and we just want to make sure that they're not going to be demolished.
What are your favorite meals?
What is your favorite meal?
We do not eat.
I shrug. I do not eat what you eat.
I like fruit.
Oh, croissants.
Incredibly spicy curries.
I like just a standard pottage.
Come over to your answer or not.
I was trying to be smart.
He said, I don't eat what you eat. Or something like that.
Right.
That's it. Thank you.
You have been identified as non-threat. You may speak to management.
This is good news. Show us the way.
And this one quadron will break rank and escort you through the rest of the quadrons until you reach
Octagons.
the pentadrone, the ones with the
With
flats.
the fives? Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I feel like D and Spike might be the best ones to talk to these guys.
I mean, they are very, like, logical, and I think my charms are kind of wasted here.
Same.
Just a bit.
Do you guys feel okay with that?
I was going to say my sphincters clenched when you started speaking.
I think he's basically made of metal, isn't he? That's kind of like...
They're
probably
like
cousins.
related. Don't be racist, Lynn.
You do know that Akron is along the local spectrum of the evil half.
Right.
They're like two places separated, I think, off the top of my head. Two planes in the Great Wheel separated. As you arrive at the pentadrome, the quadrone will turn to it and say, these have been identified as non-threats. They wish to speak, and in doing so, saying it, it will immediately leave and head back towards its position in the march. And the pentadrome will turn to you and say, you wish to speak to us. What is your query?
Why are you early? It is not yet 200 cycles until your scheduled arrival.
We have been designated to leave now.
For what reason?
We are to search.
To search for what?
We are unsure.
Will you stop the march before you reach the upcoming town?
We will not stop marching.
Will you deviate to go around the town?
No, we have been designated the route. This has been pre-agreed on.
Does the thing that designates you, can you communicate with them instantly and relay to them what we are able to speak?
We do not speak to Primus.
What if we found a better route? A more efficient route?
I was going to, yeah.
We can be their local guides.
Would it be possible to create arrangements for a new, more efficient route?
Nonsense. We have the maps. The town is the only way to the gate. We must reach the gate. Therefore, we must pass through the town.
What gate would this be?
Have to go through the town.
This is the gate to Excelsior.
Do we know that?
I don't think we've ever heard of it.
No.
No.
You can roll me. What would geography be?
That
Survival?
is nature.
Nature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would probably
Or
say
history.
History or nature? Yeah.
history or nature. One or the other.
History.
It's probably the same stat anyway.
Can we all do it?
Yeah, to see if you are aware of the town.
Wasn't terribly.
My duck dice are sucking.
Is that a 9 or a 6?
11.
7 total.
23.
Two.
Oh, nice.
11.
D with the knowledge.
You know that Excelsior is the gate town in the Outlands. The Outlands is basically the central location for the Great Wheel Cosmology. So all of the planes are basically in a big circle. The center of that circle is the Outlands. Each plane on the outskirts has a gate tower in the Outlands. So the Outlands is like a clock. So you have like 12 o'clock, which points to the Beastlands, and then each plane, according to the wheel of alignments,
Mm-hmm.
dictate the
Position on
the
the
position of the plane. Excelsior is the gate town for Mount Celestia in the Outlands.
What position is it?
Yuck.
D.
It's fine.
It's gonna be like 1 o'clock.
So if left is lawful, center is neutral, Mount Celestia is
11.
Yeah. 11 o'clock.
sort of between 11 and 10
Okay, so 10:30.
ish. Yes.
10:45.
So Mechanus is 9,
Okay.
and Elysium. Elysium is 12, and you're smack bam in the middle between them. So there are 3 between Mechanus and Elysium.
After relaying this, I say, I wonder what kind of preparations they would usually do. Will they clear a path to let them through? Will they,
Every 1,000 years, maybe.
Probably.
would they create some sort of just evacuate and let them go through?
Clean up afterwards.
There might be some magical bullshit involved if they make a bridge over the town and they just walk over it.
That is true.
That's a good idea.
But they don't need to go over the town though. They're going through the town because this gate is in the town. Is this right?
Somewhere in town. Do I know where the gate is?
There's no chance
The
of
information
direction
you've been
around.
given, there are various gates that are out at the water. So as you head out of Heart's Faith into like the harbour, there are floating portals above the water that head out.
And having an idea of where they are coming from, would they go through town to get to the water?
They will go through town to get to the water.
In a straight line. Is there
You
any?
don't know that.
Okay. Is there anything we can do to make you change your course to create less devastation in town?
Those who can move had best move. Those who cannot will be trampled. That is one of the oldest laws in the multiverse. We do not make the laws, we only enforce them.
And we don't know why they're early. They're searching for something.
Where's Primus?
Primus is going to be there later.
It's gonna be.
But where is Primus?
You can do me a religion check.
It's gonna be on another plane.
Probably Mechanus.
Probably
Yeah.
a mechanics.
4, jeez.
I don't roll because I just want to roll something
I
high.
think that's. I don't think I have it. No, that's just a no.
11.
Under 10.
9.
You don't know any information about that many gods of.
Is there
These
any
things.
commander here? I know that Primus is the
Probably
Director.
talking to it right now.
Are we in the center of the circle right now?
Practically the center of the circle.
So
This
there's
is
no-
management.
Can't
It-
speak
it-
to the
The
manager.
box did say we go speak to management.
Above management is boss,
Yeah.
which is Primus.
Ask them how they're all connected.
How are you connected? How do you communicate?
We designate rules and regulations down to the lesser. This is then passed on down through the ranks.
Oh, it's a pyramid scheme.
How does that communication take place?
Is it
Verbal?
magical? Is it?
How does all communication take place?
Well, that's just a very, open question. There's body
Interpretive
language.
dance.
This is like talking to a lawyer.
Where does the original communication come from, and how does it get to the next layer and be transmitted?
What would make you communicate with Primus again?
Primus communicates with Secundus. Secundus designates. Hold on, I have to get the hierarchy.
It's
Gonna rattle it off.
Stardust.
Yeah.
Tertius.
We need to find a ruby.
Guys, we need to find the closest entity that can pass on a message
We need
to
to
as
write-
many as possible. If we can.
We need to write back.
Primus designates to Secundus, Secundus to Tertians, Tertians to Quartons, Quartons to Quintons, Quintons to Hextons, Hextons to Septons, Septons to Octons, Octons to Nonatons, Nonatons to Decatons,
Got
Why
it.
is he?
Pentaton.
So yeah, no, that's like multiple layers removed.
I-
Theoretically,
Does it take to get a message up to Primus?
Decaton to
Probably
Pentagram
not
to
worth.
Quadrone,
Probably not
Quadrone
worth
to
the effort.
We
Tridrone,
can-
The thing
Duodrone.
is,
implant a message at
monogram.
his level. Will it trickle down
even if we
to the
So
rest of them?
If we can cut the level of communication and put a
From
thing
the
in
middle,
here,
forget the top,
no,
trickle
How are
down.
we gonna make him think
He's-
that a message is coming from Primus? He won't.
he's not gonna-
we're not hackers.
and also they might
You
not
have no imagination.
they might not be receiving any information in real time. Maybe they just got their orders
Yeah.
in
But
Mechanus.
But surely
and
they
left.
respond to the next. They defer
Maybe.
to the next level of.
But there's no next level, so the only
If we
way
can
that
intercept him and get him to pass on a message, they
To the
might
lower.
Just
they might
to
ignore
make it-
Primus and.
we would just have to make it look like we are the next level up.
Yeah.
To give them a
It-
message.
Or
before
trick him somehow into
Yeah.
taking it.
before we embark on this, the thing is a scheduled regular thing.
Yeah.
So, one, they know what's supposed to happen,
Mm.
and two, if we cut off or we attempt to impose a connection,
They
it will
might
be
see threats.
incredibly unusual, and they will see as threats, and also
Mm.
we'll basically be changing the natural environment because they are part of this nature.
If we write back now, we have 9 hours to prepare.
Can we send?
Can one of us just write back?
We could send Urine back.
Johan will happily fly back.
Will he be as quick as the horses, or
Does he have stamina?
He does not. He just exists.
Love urine. Please don't make that a cell phone. What is it? Ringtone.
Soundbite.
Clip it,
We know
clip
what
it,
the episode.
clip
of the title of the episode is.
He can probably go as fast as one of you running, but he will not tire.
Okay.
Yeah.
so how long will it take?
An hour and a half.
Hour and a half,
maybe?
2 hours?
Probably about an hour and a half or so.
Okay. Is there anything that we can accomplish here, though?
I don't think so, to be honest.
Just try and get more information.
I think we might just need. the
Even if we
information.
manage to speak to Primus, what gives us the
Yeah.
idea that we will be able to influence him to change the
It's
plan?
literally a god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
We're
Primus,
shrimps.
someone lower down.
Yeah.
But the lower
So that
down
he
will
doesn't-
listen to the one will
Yeah.
only listen to the one above, and the one
Yeah.
above will only listen to the one
That's
above.
why we need to trick them into thinking it's coming from the one above.
But I
It's an
think
idea, and how do you believe we can make
Yeah,
him
I don't know
we can
how
trick him?
could
I think we need to get some more information from the town because there might be some way that we could learn how to trick them or circumvent this whole
There
thing.
could actually
or-
be. The town may have things in place.
Yeah. we
Either
just need to find them.
barriers, equipment, whatever.
Yeah,
that,
because it does happen. So
that has to be put up.
yeah,
And maybe our plan has to be putting the plan in action rather than stopping what's happening.
Mm.
so a plan that would normally take 200 years, we got to do it in 10 hours.
9
Or
hours.
9 hours by the time we get
9
back.
hours now, yeah.
Do you believe we can trick them?
It's too much of a long shot.
Because it's a huge risk if we fail.
Yeah.
Mm.
Those may start to see us as threats.
I think we can definitely investigate that path. I think that's we should try and figure out.
Maybe 2 of you or 3 stay, and 3 of us go. Urine and 2 others go to the town and start trying to dig and put some sort of contingency plan in action. In action, and the other 2 or 3
Are
stay.
they armed?
Yeah,
These guys, yeah.
They're armed, but their weapons aren't drawn.
it's
But what are they armed with?
It depends on the rank.
Right.
The quadrons have bows. The monodrones have just regular swords. The pentadrones have their big, thick tentacles.
But it doesn't matter because
Um,
there's thousands of them.
You do
Yeah.
see
Mm.
one thing larger than the pentadrone in the center,
Yeah.
oh
and it is a giant sphere with multiple eyes and many thin tentacles.
what's
Like a beholder?
Similar to that of a beholder,
But more like mechanical
but
in
definitely
nature.
more mechanical in nature.
what's this thing in the center? The giant ball with the tentacles.
Decaton,
Can we talk to the Decaton?
that is impossible.
Why?
I
Is
am
he shy?
designated representative of Modrons,
You or your rank?
our rank.
So not you personally.
No,
You share that responsibility with how many others?
5,000.
Great.
Like just the idea that these guys are moving and the noise that it must be
Mm.
creating.
Oh my god.
Trees. It's endless amount of noise.
500,000.
This is
As in-
literally a Borg
There's
cube.
not 500,000 here.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But that's
Just
how many
in
of them are.
total.
Just
Of,
that
yeah.
exist.
How many of them does it look like there are here of this?
I will find out.
I didn't mean for
Can you
this to be.
pass me the Planes of Law box?
It
there?
did say thousands.
Whoa, carefully.
Even if it's 1,000,
Yeah.
it's
Even if it's 10,
Thank
what am I
you.
gonna do?
no. But if it's 10, it's not enough to destroy the town. You know, like
Yeah,
if,
true.
if they just cause some damage,
Well,
it's
I'm
okay.
thinking-
But if it's thousands, that will literally like this is.
But it gets bigger the
Yeah.
lower
Flatten.
down the rank you go,
Mm.
doesn't
It's
it?
probably
In
like
my mind.
Yeah.
it probably is an order of magnitude. At
Yeah.
every,
Yeah.
It may not
It's probably like
necessarily
one in the middle,
do so.
and then 10
If
around
it-
them, and
if
then
you go
100
down,
around
it
them, and
doesn't
then
doesn't
1,000
necessarily
around them. and
no,
then
no,
bigger.
bigger in number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, even
Yeah,
not
it
even
gets
Because
that.
they are a
real
circle,
real
right?
fast.
It gets real
So
big
the
real
outer
fast.
areas will have more people.
True.
Well, theoretically, I don't know. They may have more space between them.
True.
Oh, I'm not convinced with this. This is a huge long shot.
Maybe this is a really stupid idea.
But your ideas have saved us before.
There's no stupid ideas.
They're just
I mean,
ideas.
there is, but
Whoever goes back to warn people, maybe evacuate, and maybe put some barricade up, or if they have any
Let's
defenses.
not
I
get
don't know if
aggressive.
they've ever been attacked before. It's so peaceful.
I know.
I don't think this is an attack. This is
No,
just
it's
just
just
no,
walking
but
through.
Whatever happens,
I appreciate that, but it is kind of an attack.
We're not gonna block them.
Yeah.
No.
So,
No, not
if you take the
us
time to
attacking
count,
them.
yeah.
I'm saying
This
these guys
particular
have never been attacked.
group
Yeah.
has 1,728 monodrones, 256 duodrones, 81 tridrones, 16 quadrones, 5 pentadrones, and 1 decaton.
Right. So there's 5 of him.
If we become a threat, do you think that would buy Hath's Faith some time?
I don't think that's worth it.
A second.
No.
I don't think that's worth
We'd
it.
be in the middle of an army.
I think they'll just keep going.
Yeah. Well, I don't
Um,
think we would be doing anything.
I think at least.
Would-
So
If we
no
were level
one's-
10, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So no one's gonna die because
It's not a bad idea.
we've got 9 hours to evacuate
Yeah.
the town, so we can get people out. So
It's just
worst
property damage.
People's lives
worst thing
are-
that's gonna
yeah,
happen
yeah.
is the entire town is just flattened
Razed
to
to the
dust.
ground.
Even
Yeah.
if it's half of the town, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Can
go
I-
back.
So we at
Can
least
I
need
do
to do
a
that. Yeah.
circle, like, around these guys? Like, how long would that take? do I think?
A while.
It would take a while.
Okay. Maybe
If
I
you're
won't
doing
then.
a full circumference of the entire group on a horse,
Can I estimate how long that would take?
5 to 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad.
But that means that,
Okay.
that's the area that will get demolished in town.
Exactly. Now I've got that in my head. I can see like where exactly it's gonna get demolished.
I'm trying to think
It's
of a
a
way we can
trajectory.
like redirect them to at least go
Oh,
through
that's a bad
just the
sign.
corner of the town.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna.
They're just gonna go on the straight.
They're
Yeah.
mindless, man.
They're not mindless. They're acting. They're
But
They're not. They can't be reasoned with.
yeah, they have one goal.
We can
Yeah.
redirect the people out of the way.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's
That's it.
that is.
All right.
Who would like to go back? I'm going back.
I think
I'm
if you
gonna
go
stay.
back, yeah, I think you should stay because you've got a bit of a rapport with them.
I'm speaking to them the way that they need to be spoken to.
I feel like I'd like to go back, if that's okay.
Would you like to stay
Fine.
to
What
see
would you
if
prefer?
Do you trust me to stay?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know if I trust myself.
whatever you do will only cause harm to yourself?
It's true.
So
You-
yourself and
I think
Spike.
You
I
never
think
did
you're
have
quite-
any faith in me.
No, I'm just saying that you have a responsibility for yourself.
of all of us, I think you're the most impulsive, and I think impulsive behavior is not the kind of thing that these Modrons will appreciate.
So
So I think you're.
you trust me to stay behind. That's what I'm telling you. It's your call.
I think your rambunctious energy is best served in the management of the town.
The evacuation effort. People may listen to you.
I'm happy to go
That's
out to
true.
town. You guys said that you would go, and I don't think it's a good idea to leave me here.
Okay,
'Cause
well
I don't know what
then
I'll
you
do.
come. You come with us.
The
What
two of
about
us stay.
you?
I was thinking of letting her stay just so a massive wild card that can be wildly
That
successful.
is
but
true. That is
hey,
true.
now it makes more sense because we're dealing with an actual genuine
If I could
destruction.
see any way
Yeah.
I
of
like-
solving this
I
problem.
like the plan of intervening somehow in between the communication, but we don't
Mm,
have spells.
know
We don't
how
have
to do that.
abilities
Yeah.
that are able to do that.
We
If we,
don't
were,
have the
again,
rank.
if we were like level 7 or something, we
Yeah.
would have spells and ways of tricking our way, disguises and things.
We are as this situation concerns still peasants.
We're helpless.
We're almost yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
think
Can
that's why
I-
we need to go to the town and figure out.
Can you
like,
guys
what
just give
the-
me like 10 minutes?
Of course.
I'm gonna ride out a little bit out of view, and I'm gonna try and shift into one of the Modrons.
You are unable to.
Close that. I can't even at all.
These things are.
They're not humanoid.
They're not humanoid.
Okay.
So the
Um,
physiology is too different.
Totally different.
You don't know what they look like underneath this mechanical shell.
Okay.
I want to see what you look like doing
It's
that
like this,
though.
like.
So you just get turned into like a Mike Wazowski, like just a ball of flesh with like arms, legs.
What do you look like under your clothes?
Yeah.
Like skin like shimmers like a metallic color that doesn't settle.
Exactly. Yeah. So as you try to do so and you replicate one of the forms, whether it be the monodrone or a thing, your physical shape will not secure itself in the particularly angular situations of these creatures.
That makes sense.
I ride back. Well, that was the best. I tried a bit of disguise and it didn't work. I thought maybe we could trick them that way, but no.
Okay. I think we need to do something.
Okay.
Hopefully, Cauldron Born has managed to find out some information.
I'm trusting Alari to do it.
Yeah.
I trust Alari a
I
bit
trust
more than
Alari
Cauldron
too.
Born, to be
I feel
honest.
like you guys are underestimating the power of Cauldron. I know. I ragged on him the last time,
He might
And
and I
surprise
still
us.
am,
He did get elected.
but
Yeah.
he did get elected because
Well,
he's an
He
idiot.
might surprise us.
he didn't. He was the
Runner-up.
first runner-up.
Yeah.
And it was only because of his wonderful smile. and
Yeah.
Yes,
everything,
exactly.
Perhaps that will be a good asset to get people to listen and
It's like
Yeah.
electing a
That's
dog
true.
as your mayor. You don't really listen to it. It's just cute.
Yeah.
well, I think the mayor is a dog. So it's a lion, isn't it? So
Yeah. Who's staying?
Uh,
You?
I suppose we'll stay.
Do you want one of us to stay too?
No, I think we should be fine. I don't know that there's much we can do here.
I feel
anyway.
like having the least amount of people in case things get dangerous.
But
Try and talk
when
to
you're
them.
like maybe an hour out, right to us, or less than an hour out, right
Yeah.
out to us, and just or more than an hour. So
How about
give us an info.
you guys go back, you two,
Mm.
you stay, and we can keep going back
Oh,
and
communication.
meeting in the middle.
I like that.
So like I'll go on this side,
Alright.
you go on the town side, and we'll keep riding and meeting in the
Little
middle.
20-minute ride each.
Yeah, relaying what we know of each side,
Smart.
and we'll
Smart.
It's clever.
yeah.
Smart.
It's real clever.
Do we know the exact trajectory?
Yeah, are they if you go up in the
I
air,
imagine it's gonna be
is this like a straight line?
as the crow flies.
It looks like they are going in a straight line. As you look at the destruction they brought in the
Yeah.
forest behind,
Yeah.
it is a straight line that they have been heading in so far.
And if we look at the town, it's like it's a perfect straight path.
Pretty much, yeah.
So it's going to go right through the middle, so we can
So we should
direct people away from that.
Or just get him out.
yeah. Well,
Alright.
we should at least know the paths.
So
We
it's
can get them
random
out, but as if
cowboy.
we're getting them out in that direction or that
Yeah,
direction, 'cause
they're
they'll
gonna
just
get
catch up with them.
Yeah.
We need to spread.
Oh my god, it's like when big things are falling in movies and people are just running like the length of this long
Yeah.
thing. It's like, just take 2 steps to
Just
the
go that
side,
way.
you'll be fine.
The Prometheus school of running away from
Try and
things.
outrun a redwood.
I know, what are you doing?
You run
Move to
10
the
meters that
side!
way, or you can run 200 meters that way.
We'll go back.
Makes me so
Okay.
angry.
As you head back, you find where is it you're heading to first?
Probably Ilaria and the office.
The office.
Yeah.
As you do so, you see Cauldron-born Ilaria in Cauldron-born's office, and Cauldron-born is pacing up and down, very anxious, very nervous. And he sees you come in, and he says, yes, how did it go?
That well.
They're not gonna stop.
We need to evacuate everyone.
What did you find?
You.
That is concerning. I've found this old, in the records, I found the old agreement.
Mm-hmm.
And if you take a look at the map of Heart's Faith, which I
Yep,
got
it's right here.
somewhere, where you see the
I'll do that.
blue arrows going through the town,
Mm-hmm.
that is the route that they are going to take
Yeah.
from
Right.
town.
Good lord.
Straight through.
Right.
Straight through and branching off.
So they are gonna
Oh.
they're
Destroy
gonna
the entire
crumple
town.
everything.
Why are they gonna branch off like that?
Whatever.
It's part of their I don't know, search.
It's like
I
Ah.
don't know much about.
It's
They
like
did
an
say they were searching for
occupation.
something.
What are they searching for? It must be
Nobody
in the
knows.
agreement.
Nobody knows. All we know is that they come through and they sweep everything. Documenting. I'm not sure what their plan is. They do this like clockwork every 1,000 cycles.
So they do this every 1,000 cycles, and you have not thought about perhaps moving the fucking town to a different location.
Well, the agreement is that they come down and
Search.
through and they search, but
And nobody's written down in a book what they were searching for.
They haven't
Nobody
found it, I
knows.
guess.
I don't think they tell people.
they don't. Some people think that they're documenting. Some people think that they're
Like a census.
Did anybody
exactly,
ask them?
something like that.
I don't think they would tell even if they would. If you would
You
ask.
know what?
Nobody's been able to gather.
What is the process?
I don't think
Do,
they
do you
know.
evacuate?
Yeah.
Or
But
do
we
you?
asked them
What do
they
you
would.
do? What
They're just giving
what is
orders.
in the
That's it.
register?
Well,
Will they destroy the town?
I don't think they're going to deviate from this.
Yes.
Well, we get that.
From what I can see in some of the records, they've previously created bridges out from the harbour towards the thing. This is the mud runs. They've created the bridges. They travel down and they travel through. We tend to just evacuate the city, but normally we also disassemble things and
Because you have time.
they're going to destroy buildings. We've built in some of those places.
We have.
But again, we normally have.
Because you've got 1,000 years. That's a long time.
We gotta
People live
evacuate.
for 1,000 years. Can you find the oldest elf?
We need to go talk to the head of the guards, the Temple of Mitra, the Temple of Tyr. We need to get all these people together. And
Citizens' Rest.
we need to get them all
Merchants' Tier.
removed from here. Like, we get these people, these leaders of the community, to go through the town and get people to leave. Whatever you can carry, and just leave.
Is there another nearby town that people can go to?
Not within a reasonable walking distance. I'm not sure how well we're going to be able to do this in. How long did you say we have?
8 hours.
8 hours. We're going to have to try and make haste and just do what we can.
We can do it.
Well,
You have the people's trust. They like you. They'll
yeah.
listen to you. You need to go up there and tell them how serious this is.
Okay. Let's do that.
Can we call like a big press meeting?
Do you have a bell? Like
Yeah.
a town bell that you can ring?
When something goes
We
really
can
wrong?
possibly inquire with the Temple of Mitra.
Okay.
Do you have a
they may
postal
be able to
service, a
bring-
messenger service?
I mean,
The food dogs.
The food dogs?
Let's get them on it as
Get
well.
the food dogs, get the guards, and we'll go to the Temple of Mitra and the Temple of Tyr.
I'm going to end the session there.
Oh!
Oh, goddamn.
So, this will give you some time to think of ways to try and help defend the town. Yes, Carl?
I want to voice this out now in case I forget later. I had a interesting spike of paranoia where, in this moment where people are suddenly evacuated, a potential thing that is interested in the town can then infiltrate and do whatever they want in it.
What, the thing that's already infiltrated in town?
The thing that's already infiltrated in the town, but that's been interrupted.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
will not be interrupted, potentially,
Well, there's
by
no
machines.
one here. Well, there's no one here.
Oh,
It'll
well,
only
anyone
be
here.
interrupted by the giant Modron march.
Who may or may not be interested in the very thing that's there, but that may not be connected.
Thing is,
Potentially.
we gotta save
Very
these. We gotta get these people out.
I want to save these civilians.
Do we?
We do.
We need to conduct scientific experiments. We need to put people in certain areas.
We evacuate half the town,
Yes.
and the other half we don't tell them.
Yes.
We'll just see what happens.
See what
Oh
happens.
my god.
Because we need to determine who's the victim or like who's the target of their scanning and their
Yeah.
information gathering.
This is true lawful.
So, we will be here next week, but I believe the plan is we will be starting a little bit later.
An hour later,
An
yeah.
hour later. I think we'll be starting at 8 o'clock UK time.
That's because it's this one's birthday. Sorry, I
She's
had
so
to embarrass
old.
you.
How old are you?
Congratulations for surviving another year on this planet.
I know, it's been a rocky couple.
Genuinely a challenge.
In the last few years, that's
Hanging on by a thread.
yeah, small fate.
This will give you a week and an hour in order to
Hey.
formulate some sort of plans
Oh,
to
God.
try and help defend the town.
You say now. You say a week and an hour.
Please
It's like
feel free to
45
write
minutes.
in the chat, like,
Send us messages.
if you have any ideas.
Evacuation plans.
Better game.
Leave a comment in the YouTube section.
Absolutely.
Please.
So yes, we will be doing that. We'll be back next Tuesday at 8 p.m. UK time. We may have a few missing sessions after that, just due to various commitments that we have.
Life.
So let's see if we can get it all sorted next week.
Let's go.
In the meantime, we will run the credits, and once we've done the credits, we will be doing the experience rundown. I will be putting up a poll for the viewers, so you can vote for who your favourite session of the week was, and you'll be able to maybe give them some experience points to help them get a little bit closer to leveling up. So I will put that poll up now, and we will see you in a couple of moments.
Bye.
Bye. thank you for waiting and welcome back. So, I will kick off this experience rundown. So, as per usual, we will open up the floor to the players so they can vote for various different blips. Each blip at the moment is worth 60 experience points. So, our first blip is creative use of a spell or ability. Who do you think represented that today?
And
You had-
announcing D.
Yeah, that was awesome.
was so cool.
That's true.
No,
Louisa.
no, certainly creative.
Didn't you project like
It was really
as
creative.
well, like
Yeah, you
thaumaturgy?
Like bits of-
Used,
Yeah.
used your outfit, you used your shoes,
Yeah.
you used the money on the scales.
Yeah.
So it's just a
And you were
disruptive
That's
just
your charisma. Use your charisma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Your ability to be disruptive.
I don't think I did anything
To like
sprite
push them just enough to piss them off, but not to like kick you out.
Yeah.
I think that was really clever.
Definitely Josh.
The
on this
scroll,
one.
and we got the scroll as a result, which was quite funny.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's amazing.
I'll take one.
I vote Josh.
Okay.
60
If
experience.
everyone's,
Is it
in the-
60?
everyone's agreement, then 60 to Link. And next up, we have heroic, selfless, or furthering the party goal. Who do you think embodied that this session?
Not Sprite.
Oh
me.
man, I don't know.
True though.
What do you mean?
Because you were like, I'm gonna sneak after them.
No, to join in with you.
Oh yeah,
Not
that
to-
was adorable.
Not to
though.
sabotage you. I just didn't want to be left
We
out.
were curious.
You weren't gonna be left out. Never left
Aw.
out. You were gonna go with Kyle.
I think you were the most
Task.
communicative with the Modrons, which
Yeah.
is now obviously the threat. So it's definitely like the party goal. Like,
Who asked for the steeds?
Me.
I think that was.
Because I thought that
that
was
you,
cool.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that.
Cool.
I was like, cool, we're gonna have to run 20 miles.
Okay, we're going to need to come to a general group census.
I just feel bad about voting for Spike. I don't want to vote for Kyle.
Aww.
Should we do a vote?
I vote for Kyle.
What?
I feel bad, but I still think it's the right thing to do.
Kyle did also
Oh, shit.
selflessly inform the
Yeah.
Temple of Mitra.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
That's
if anything,
You
Right.
didn't
Okay.
actually ask for
Yeah.
anything out of that.
Both that and the Modron
Yeah.
communications.
For definitely.
That's
For
fair
sure.
enough. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, in which case that is 60 experience points for Spike.
Neat.
And finally, we have intangible. Is there anything that doesn't fall into those categories that you think should be rewarded?
Probably the horses, I guess.
Yeah.
Could be the horses,
Okay.
or it could be Josh return.
The horses are now level 2 horses.
Josh is returning. Huh? Gotta catch you up.
Nah. I think the horses. That was a
Whose
good.
idea
That
was
was
it
a useful one.
to go in between?
Josh's.
Josh.
Yeah.
In between.
Yeah, that was
to
actually
actually
pretty
go
clever.
through the
To have
weave.
Yeah.
us go back.
Hey,
and
but
you
you wouldn't be
guys
able to
stay
do
and
that
then-
without the
Oh, yeah,
horses.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Let's be
The
honest.
horses are
The
what
horses are
facilitate.
Horses are clutch.
Yeah, no, I'll vote for the horses.
Yeah.
The horses.
Okay.
Just
do
so we
like
need to level
horses.
our man up here.
That's fine. He doesn't need it.
Yeah, you
Bars-
had,
bars
you
don't
had
need
fun.
that.
You
It
had
wouldn't-
fun in real life.
It wouldn't be enough.
It wouldn't be
No,
enough.
you're at level 3, surely. You passed 900, right?
I'm not.
No,
Oh
you
yeah,
should.
yeah.
Yeah, you are
900,
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
go
yeah.
900.
You know,
That's
Yeah,
okay.
you're
So it's
fine.
fine.
I
Yeah, you're
imagine
fine.
there'd
But
be
you will
like
need some
XP up for grabs.
downtime in order to level
Yeah,
up.
I know.
which-
So
Oh shit.
give us a
Horses?
fleet then for the
Cheers,
horses.
bro.
Really?
Because I'm
Amazing.
past 900, so that's
It's
that's
about
all right now.
900.
I will
Never say no to
If
XP.
everyone's in agreement, then D is going to get another 60 points of experience.
Heck yeah.
See, if you stayed, that could have been yours. You could have done something amazing.
could have been somebody.
Okay. And from that, I'm going to close and complete
rowdy.
the poll. And we
Okay.
have had one vote for Philippe
Oh.
from
nice.
Harpeg Nathos.
Does he-
Cool.
What?
Is
Oh, it must.
Mel?
Oh,
It
it's
must be
Mel.
from Mel.
Mel's using your
What?
account.
Yeah.
Thanks,
yeah.
Mel.
It must be
It's
Mel.
over
logged in.
900 is what Mel said.
Yay!
Nice.
Over 900.
Oh.
Appreciate it.
In which case, that is 60 experience points for D.
God
Oh
damn.
boy!
1499. Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go.
Excellent. So, as always, thank you very much for joining us in the Hodgepodge Tavern. We hope you've enjoyed the adventure so far and tune in with us next week at 8 p.m. UK time.
Correct.
Please do follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and on Twitch. And it really does help us, and it makes us very, very happy.
It does.
Yes.
Every comment, every like, every subscribe or follow, it's lovely.
Everything is wonderful. So, from all of us here at the Hodgepodge Tavern, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
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 Hey,
See you
guys.
next Tuesday.